All right, hi everyone. I think there's a little bit of internet problem this night. We really apologize for that. All right, so we'll just hold on a little for a few minutes to fix the internet, and then we can continue with the session. Okay. This really happens. I'm not sure why this is happening this night, but yeah, we are doing everything that we can to get it fixed and deliver a very proper session. All right, Ifemina is back. Hi, Ifemina. You're muted.
All right, so sorry about this again. Today's session is not the internet has really been messing up. Okay, apologies for that again and again. So sorry. Okay, all right. Anyways, let's just push ahead. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about the three career paths that we have on the screen. Okay, and okay. So we're going to be talking about the full stack data science. We're going to be talking about data engineering, and we're also going to be exploring cybersecurity for guys looking to getting started in these various career paths. Okay. Those are the key things you need to have at the back of your mind. Okay. These are the career paths that we're going to be looking at today. All right. And one key tool that makes everything that brings all these roles together. One tool that you should have at the back of your mind that brings all these career paths together is Python. All right. The one familiar tool that these three career paths have in common is Python. Okay. All right. So we're going to be exploring Python. And why Python? Why is Python that particular tool they are using that is common between all three career paths? So the full stack data scientist would use Python, the data scientist, okay? And I'll tell you the reason why we call it full stack, okay? I'll tell you the reason why we call it the full stack data science program, okay? Data engineering also would use Python, and also cybersecurity analysts, those looking to get into cybersecurity would also use Python. Well, now, why Python? Why is Python such a versatile tool? Okay, that the data scientist will use it, the data engineer will use it, the cybersecurity analyst also will use the same tool. All right, it's not different. It's literally the same tool. Why Python is a key question, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. All right, we'll still do some practical, no doubt about that. But the key question is why Python? Why is Python that key tool that is dominant in these three career paths? All right. And we all know today, Python is not a snake, okay? It's a programming language, okay? It's a programming language that allows you to define, build your own, to build your own codes, to build your own applications and so on, all right? And that's what we're going to be exploring today, all right? So let's talk about the role of a data scientist, okay? The role of a data scientist. Who is a data scientist, all right? Who is a data scientist? Looking at my own career path, the first thing I actually wanted to become, okay, the first desire I wanted to become was become a data scientist. And I'll tell you the reason why I wanted to become a data scientist. I read an article on Forbes, okay? I read an article on Forbes, I read an article on HBR. This was back in 2015, 2014, okay? An article was talking about how data science is the sexiest job of the future. Okay. And at that point in time, there weren't a lot of professionals that had the title data scientist. All right. So it was just a fantasy. Okay. There were a couple of materials on data science, but clearly defining the role of a data scientist was very challenging. Okay. But that's exactly what we're going to be looking at now. Okay. So the role of a data scientist, who is a data scientist? That's the first thing. You want to become a data scientist. What would your job look like? What would you be doing on a day-to-day? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Now, the data scientist is a key data professional. Okay. So what the data scientist does is, okay, use data. Okay. All right. So the data scientists use data in answering questions. Okay. So they use data in answering questions. That's what they do. That's the role of a data scientist. Okay. In answering questions. So the data scientist, when you hear, oh, I'm a data scientist, okay? Basically, the person is using data, okay, to answer questions, business related questions. Now you'll be asking yourself, what kind of question would the data scientist be using? All right, what kind of question is the data scientist, is the data scientist answering? Very simple. I would explain it now. So they're going to be answering three critical questions. So they'll use data to answer three critical questions, three questions. The first question they'll be using data to answer is what happened? Okay, what happened? Okay, all right. The next one is why did it happen? Why did that particular thing happen? Why did it happen? Okay. The third thing they will need to answer is why did it happen? Okay. Okay. Why did it? Okay, well, okay, no. What will eventually happen? That's what I want to write. Okay. So three questions. Okay. What happened? Why did it happen? And what will happen? What will happen is the next thing you need to answer. What, okay, what will happen? So you say a data scientist, this is your role, okay? This is the key role of the data scientist. You need to use data to answer questions around what happened in the business, why did that particular thing happen, and what will eventually happen. All right. So those are the three questions you see on a day-to-day. As a data scientist, that is what you'll be exploring on a day-to-day basis as a data scientist. Okay. Now, questions like, let's take a look at the first one. The first one, basically, you're trying to describe, all right? The first question, basically, you're trying to describe what happened. You're trying to explain. Take a very, very good example is what was our revenue January to December 2023? What was our revenue? Our revenue, okay, 2023, okay, January to December. Okay. So basically, this question is asking a question: what happened? What happened in 2023? That's just the best way to explain that to you. So the key question here is what happened in 2023? What was our revenue in 2023? So when they ask you, let's say the CEO, the CFO is asking you a question around, okay, can we know what our revenue was like in 2023? Basically, they're trying to figure out what happened in terms of revenue in 2023. So you'll see a graph like this. You'll see the data scientists will now gather the data, okay, which is the key thing. We gather the data and build like a visualization that draws out what happened in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay? And you see maybe a graph that looks like this. Okay, all right, 2023. Okay, 2023 revenue. Okay, all right. You see a graph that looks like this. Started slow in January, increased in February, dropped in March, increased again, then dropped till September, then increased from October, November, then December. Okay, you see a revenues, you'll see the trend. So basically, this is already giving you a trend of revenue in 2023. So you see, when you see a graph like this, when you see a chart, a trend line like this, you see a graph like this, a line chart like this, it's basically telling you one story, which is one, it's actually one question. Basically, what happened in that particular time period. Okay, in 2023, January to December, this was a trend of revenue for the business. Now, the next question they will now ask is, okay, yes, I've seen this trend. I've seen the trend. We made money. We didn't make so much in January. We made a little in February. It dropped in March. It peaked in June, and so on. But we see at the end of the day, we started to, we probably did something right from November and it starts to grow. The business started to grow. Now, the key question now, the next question the business will want to find out is why did it happen? Why? Why? This is to diagnose. Okay, diagnose the situation. All right. So to diagnose the situation, all right, to find out the reason why we made more money in November and December as against the rest of the month? What did we do differently in November and December? What did we do differently? Okay, in this particular month, all right, that made us make more money than every other month of the year. Why? What was that thing that we did differently? Okay. Also, that's the role of the data engineer, data scientist, to figure out why this particular thing happened. Okay. So we now start to drill in, okay, into the data. We are still talking about using data. All right. We should use the data to find out the reason why the revenue in November, December is significantly different from every other month in the year 2023. So now you start to do analysis like what we call, maybe you do like your advert analysis, all right, to find out, what kind of advert did you run? Okay, was it a particular kind of ad you run that led to that significant increase? Okay, what's the target market? Okay, target market. Okay, what target market constituted the most revenue in this particular month? Okay, and so many other kind of analysis that you can actually do to decode the reason why the revenue in this particular month is greater than every other month in the year 2023. All right. So that's basically what you're doing as a data scientist, figuring out the reasons why that particular thing happened. Revenue grew November, December. We need to know the reason why it grew in November and December. Because if we know the reason why that particular thing happened, if we know the reason why it happened, all we need to do is just rinse and repeat. Okay? Rinse and repeat. Okay? Rinse and repeat. That's the key thing. All right. All you need to do is, if I know exactly what happened last month and I generated this revenue because of this particular strategy that we put in place, all I need to do is rinse and repeat that strategy so that my revenue will continue to increase. Okay. And that will lead me to the third and final question. What will eventually happen? So at this point, you are trying to predict. So this is what makes the role of a data scientist, okay, more technical than the role of a data analyst, okay, because of the fact that you can predict what will happen. So the business knows what happened in 2023. Okay, so they know what happened in 2023. Basically, you've described the situation that happened last year. Okay, January to December, this is our trend of revenue. Okay, now what makes the data scientist, hot cake? When they say hot cake, hot in the market, hot in demand, they're always looking to hire data scientists, is because of this key word here, to predict what will happen in the future. Not everybody can do that. Trust me. All right. Not everybody can predict what will happen in the future. All right. That's where you now start to do what? That's where you start to get introduced to what we call statistical, okay, all right, modeling. All right, that's when you start to do statistical modeling. Okay, that's when you start to do what we call machine learning. Okay, all right, machine learning. And it's very interesting because this is something that you're going into the future. Let me tell you my own personal experience working with my first ever experience, okay? Working with one of the largest delivery companies, all right, in Europe, okay? So they deliver across Europe and also across the world, all right? So basically, this business, okay, all right, let me just draw the graph, okay? So January to, all right, we were currently in March, that period when I joined them. I joined in March. So we had like they do a lot of deliveries. They were delivering, parcels. So the way you order something on Jumia in Nigeria, okay, and they will send you a message, expected days of delivery. Okay, expect that this parcel will be delivered or this particular package will be delivered between this day to this day, something like that. Okay, all right. So the business does that, but the guarantee for their own business, what they do in their own business, this particular organization is they guarantee next day delivery, next day delivery. So if you order a parcel today, okay, you go on Amazon, for example, you order a parcel today and it gets to the company today, they will deliver it the next day. They must deliver. It's a criteria for them. It's a key KPI for the business that whatever parcel that it gets today, they must deliver 100% all that parcel the next day. All right. But it's difficult to achieve this. It's very difficult. All right. Because let's say I want to deliver parcels tomorrow, okay? And okay, maybe off the top of my head, I made plans that okay, today we will deliver 10,000 parcel packages tomorrow. We'll deliver 10,000 packages tomorrow. But eventually, instead of getting 10,000, we got 25,000. Okay. All right. And our mandate is we will deliver tomorrow. Okay. But we planned for 10,000. All right. The business planned for 10,000, but eventually they delivered 25,000. Or they got 25,000. It's become very difficult for them to deliver 25,000 because they planned for 10,000, but they got 25,000. It will be difficult for them to deliver 25,000. So the business wanted to predict, they wanted to build a model, okay, that will predict, what the next day, what the next day volume would look like. Okay. They wanted to predict what the next day, tomorrow, we are currently today. Okay. So we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. But the business wanted to know what will happen tomorrow. Okay. That is where the data scientists came to play to say that, okay, I built a model for them, a statistical machine learning model that was able to predict to the degree of 91%. Okay, 91% accurate. Okay, so it's not going to tell you you're going to do 10,000 and 10,000 accurately. It's impossible for you to get that kind of model. Okay, all right. So to the degree of 91%, was able to predict to tell them the exact number they will be doing the next day. So if they're going to be getting, let's say, 100 parcels or 100 packages, all right, I was off by 9 parcels every time, either plus or minus nine parcels. Okay, so is either they get 80 what 91, is that they get 91 or they get 109. So it's either between, it's going to, the number ranges between 91 to 109. Okay, so basically it was pretty accurate. Okay, it wasn't spot on accurate, but in which you can never be spot on accurate when you're doing forecasting. But essentially, that's the role of the data scientist. And a lot of businesses need this. A lot of businesses need to predict what will eventually happen. All right, this is just one scenario. Okay, that happens. Now, the other thing that I need to talk about is what makes the role of the data scientist very important. It's not just the predictive analytics aspect. All right. So what one thing is the predictive, what makes this role very, very interesting is the ability to predict. The other thing is the ability to work with different type of data. Okay, different types of data. So you see the data scientists, okay, like I mentioned, they work with data to answer questions. But you see, data is of two categories, okay? Is of two categories. Can you guys tell me the two categories of data that what kind of data do you think exists? Let me see. Let me test your knowledge a little. All right. Let me test your knowledge a little. All right. So drop it in the comments. Let me see what type of data do you know? What type of data? Let me see the type of data. Data and information, no. That's you tried pretty okay, but that's not the types of data. So we're looking at the types of data. Okay. Okay. So the types of data processed and unprocessed. Very close. All right. But look, let me tell you, though, not to waste too much time. Okay. So the data scientists will work with what we call structured data, structured, okay, structured data, okay, and unstructured data. Structured and unstructured. I'm very sure this thing is sounding very vague to some people, okay? Unstructured data. So you see the data scientists will work with data. Now, this data is split into two types. You have the structured and you have unstructured data. Now, what is structured data? This is the easiest form of data that you will work with. Okay, this is the easiest form of data. So you see, any data that is in a table that comes in a table that has what we call rows and column. That is what we call a structured data. Okay, so once it comes in rows, okay, and columns, that is what we call structured data. Okay, so it has an header. So if you remember the game we used to play back in the days, okay, you have name, okay, animal, place, pain, so on and so forth. Okay. So you see the fact that the data comes in a table, okay, it comes in a table. That's what we call a structured data. So if you take for Excel, when you open a file in Excel, you open data in Excel, you'll find out that it is a table. It has the header, name, age, category, and so on and so forth. Okay. So it has a structure. That's what we call, a structured data. It has a structure, it's in a table. That's what we call structured data. But on the flip side, we have unstructured data. Basically, these are data that cannot be put in a table. Data that cannot be put in a table. So the like of a picture, for example. So if you take a picture, you take a selfie, okay? You can't put a picture in a table. You can't put a picture in a table. So that's another huge limitation. Okay. Take, for example, audio files, all right. You can't put an audio file. You can't structure an audio file inside a structure into a table. You can't put, text. Okay. You can't put text, pictures, videos. Okay. All right. You can't put this kind of data. Very versatile, okay, and in demand is because of their ability to work with any kind of data. They can work with structured data, data that comes in a table, and they can work with unstructured data, data that cannot fit into a table. All right, take some examples are pictures, audio files, text, videos, and so on. They can analyze unstructured data. Okay, for example, facial recognition. So if you pick up your phone today, everybody has a phone that has facial recognition systems. Okay, who built those models? Who built those models for your phone to be able to recognize you? Okay, who built it? The data scientist, obviously. All right, it's the data scientist that will build this model. All right, that will be able to detect your face, to detect your face as against other people's face. So if I carry your phone today, okay, to try to use my face to unlock it, it's not going to unlock. Okay, so who built those models to be able to analyze your face and be able to know that, oh, this is Lydia, oh, this is Damilola, all right, oh, this is Efemena, okay, and it unlocks the phone. So that's basically what makes the role of the data scientist very, very interesting. The ability to predict, okay, and the ability to work with various kind of data, structured and unstructured. Are we learning today? Please drop a one if you're learning something new today, please. Drop a one if you are learning something new today. Susan, okay, let's go. Michael, let's go, let's go, let's go. Fantastic. So, yes, fantastic. I love that. So that's what makes the role of the data scientist very interesting. Your ability to predict and your ability to work with different types of data. Okay? So, and the reason why we call this the full stack data science, let me go to that now. The reason why we call it full stack, okay? The reason why we call it full stack is very, very interesting, okay? So you see different organizations across the world, and based on my own personal experience, like I talked about the organization I worked with, the first one I worked with, relocating outside the country, all right? All right, they did not use Python. Python was not part of the tools that they were using. They did not work with Python. So majority of the tools, technology they were working with, Python was not among them. So if you're going to be using Python, it's likely going to be outside. And because of data protection, they can't allow you to just take their passenger data and put in another application. Okay, so you need to get permission, you need to get approvals, from the top management in order for you to work with any other tool. So you see, I was not limited. Okay, so because Python was not one of the tools that they were using, part of the data, the data tools that we're using, Python was not amongst it. Okay, so and then I wanted to build a forecast. I wanted to build a forecast. I wanted to build a forecast for this business. Okay, and I couldn't use Python to do my forecast. Okay, but I wanted to be. It was my job to build forecast, to be able to extrapolate, to go into the future, to tell them this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. This is what we're going to be doing next week. This is what we're going to be doing 6 months from now. It was my job to be building forecast. Okay, and I needed a tool that will be able to do this forecast. But Python, which was my preferred tool, was not part of the ecosystem, was not part of the tools the organization was using. So I was limited. Okay. So what did I do? I used Excel. Okay. I used Microsoft Excel. So you see that accuracy, I told you about the accuracy I achieved. I achieved the 91% accuracy on the forecast. 91% accuracy using a tool like Microsoft Excel. Okay. So different organizations, okay, you can't just go to get into an organization and start using any tool that you use. Because of data protection, you are constricted to use certain tools within an organization. So if they use Tableau, you must use Tableau, okay, to do whatever tool that you are, to do whatever task you need to do. If they're limited to Excel, for example, you need to use Excel. All right. So that's the word where the full stack comes from. You see, a lot of training programs will teach you just Python, will teach you just Python, how to use Python for this, for that. You now get a lot of organizations that you work with will still require to know Excel. Okay, a huge portion of that will still require to learn Excel, to know Excel, especially if you're getting work in the industry, you need Microsoft Excel. All right. So now, how do you use Excel to do data science activities like to predict, forecast? Okay. How do you use tools like Tableau? Okay. All right. To do your predictive analytics. Okay. That's where the full stack comes in. So that regardless of anywhere you find yourself in an organization that uses Excel, you would be able to excel. Oh, interesting. I love that. You saw what I did there. If you get it, you get it. All right. So if you find an organization that uses Excel, you will still excel. I'll say it again. All right. But if you find a place, okay, if you find a place that uses Tableau again, that is constricted to just Tableau, you would also Tableau. I'm not sure if you get that one. I know that was cliche. All right, but anyways, if you find yourself in an organization that uses Tableau, you would also, you'll find a way to use Tableau for predictive analytics, for reporting and predictive analytics. So, regardless of any tool you find yourself, you would be able to use it to perform data science tasks. And that's exactly what the full stack is there for. So Excel, you can use Excel for predictive analytics, you can use it for modeling, you can use it for all the things you need to do. You find yourself Tableau, you do the same thing in Tableau, and also you'll still do the same thing in Python. That's the reason why we called it the full stack data science program. Full stack, because you're going to be learning different tools to perform data science activities. So in order for you to you blow to blow. Oh, I love that. Oh, Kema. Okay, I love that. You learn Tableau and you still blow. Okay, that's a good one. I love it. That's good. I like it. All right. So, the key learning areas for data science, all right, in order for you to succeed in the career part of the data scientist, you must learn statistics. Statistics is not like those statistics you learn in school. I was also skeptical when I was getting started. All right, learning statistics. I was good in stats, but because of the way people have painted it in the industry, you need to be good in these, you need to be good in linear algebra, you need to be good in, what they call it again, geometry, you need to, everybody talks about all these things, but going into the industry, all right, and me getting started and getting my first role and getting other roles in data science, all right, I'll tell you for free that the kind of statistics you need, you can always learn it. Okay, you don't have to go back to university or school to learn statistics. All right, and getting started is the key word. Not becoming an expert, getting your foot into the door. You will gain experience and you start to grow and you start to explore more. You start to learn more. But the key thing is, how did you get started? What do you need in statistics in order for you to get a job role? All right, and those are the things that you learn. Okay, so you have the likes of descriptive statistics, inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics, you get to work with measure of central tendency, your mean, median, and mode. So the way you learned it in university is not the way you will learn it here. It's different. This is not application. Most times you find out the median. Why do you use the median? I would ask you. Why do we require the median? The median basically is the middle number. In what world would you be working with the middle number? Okay. They never taught us the reason why we needed the middle number. Okay, we just know that, okay, if you want to calculate the median is the middle number of an ordered list or ordered list of numbers. All right, but we don't know the reason why. How does it apply to the business? And that's the reason why a lot of people will say that X, find X, you see the beauty of statistics when you apply it in the business case, in the business world. And that's exactly what we'll do for you. All right. Then you go into predictive forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel. You get to work with Excel. You get to work with Tableau. You get to learn SQL, Python also. You do exploratory data analysis. You work with machine learning, computer vision. So for computer vision, you will build your own facial detection program. You build your own body detection program. You build a lot of projects in computer vision anyways. You get to work with GitHub for version control. You get to work with ChatGPT and GitHub for GitHub Copilot for coding in order for you to code better, decode better, write your codes faster, optimize your codes, and so on. You also get to work with Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. So for the likes of for people that want to learn Power BI, how to incorporate Power BI, the Power BI ecosystem, not just Power BI alone, but end-to-end building an analytical solution that involves Power BI, you will learn it, using Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. So when I say full stack, okay, in full ground, we're all of Nigerians on the call, so I can even speak my pidgin easily. Okay. So when they say full stack, in full ground, so you're going to be learning various tools. You're going to be learning, Microsoft Excel, you'll be learning Tableau, you'll be learning SQL, you'll be learning Python. You'll also be getting to work with Python using to explore data analysis, okay, explorating data analysis, machine learning, computer vision. You'd also get to work with ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot. You also get to work with Microsoft Fabric, which is relatively a very new technology in the data ecosystem. So trust me, when it comes to getting started, this is the best career path for you. All right. Yes, training program that you can use to get started, getting your foot into the door. And you can see the reason why we have a huge success in people getting started in this desired career path. So become a data scientist in 4 months, okay? So the training program is for 4 months, 3 months for learning, and 1 month of internship. So you get 1 month free internship. This is for free. 1 month free internship. All right. So the classes Saturdays and Sunday, okay? You watch me do it. Literally by the name, you know exactly what's happening. Watch me do it. So from Saturday, you have a live class, which is case study based. So this class is case study, okay? Case study based, okay? All right. Morning and evening session for the guys in the UK, US, UK, Nigeria, West Africa, Africa in general. You can go for the morning session. And we're going to be evening time for the guys in Africa, but it's going to be morning for the guys in Canada and in the US. So the timing is there. So for the guys in Canada on Saturday in general, okay, it's going to be 11 to 2 p.m. West African time on Saturday. And in the evening, it is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. The same day, Saturday. So you can select anyone that works for you. You can select the morning session if it works for you. You can select the evening session if that works for you. But essentially, this is the way the training programs runs. On Sunday, we have the Watch Me Do It videos, whereby it's project based and you're literally just watching the videos and replicating the project. Okay. Basically giving you time to learn and also impact yourself. Okay. So a lot of the time you need to work on projects in order for you to get a full understanding of the role itself. All right. A majority of these organizations are looking for people that have experience. How do you build a portfolio of projects? This is how we help you build your own personal portfolio of projects. And I'll share some of the projects you're going to work with, you work on as you go on. So this is the role of a data scientist. Okay. All right. So other roles you can actually apply to. So most people think that, okay, oh, I want to become a data scientist. They are only looking for roles as data scientists. Okay. Like I mentioned, the only role that I have worked in, okay, that has the role data scientist is only one. Okay, just one role. Okay, so they take on different names. All right. There are data analyst roles that you would be working as a data scientist, okay? But they will use the word analyst, okay? Where you would be working as a sales analyst, but you'll be analyzing sales data and you'll also be doing predictive analytics. What will be our sales in the next 6 months? Okay, all right. Where should we sell more of our products? Okay, you'll be doing market entry analysis. You'll be doing, what do you call it? You'll be doing quote analysis. You'll be doing, quite a number of analysis to understand customer data, to understand your customer. So if you go on places like Jumia, okay, I use Jumia because majority of the guys on the call are Nigerians. Or you go on Amazon, all right, or any platform where you buy products, e-commerce sites. For example, I'm talking about the sales analyst. You find out that once you buy a particular product, there's a recommendation that is recommending that about this product, usually buy this product. Okay, so there's a they call it recommendation engine. Okay, it's the data scientist that builds it. So now that's another role, sales analyst. You analyzing sales data and using it to recommend for future purchase. So if I go to the platform and buy something else, okay, there's a recommendation to say that, oh, people that bought this product, buy this product so our company needs, so on and so forth. Those are, kind of things that you can actually apply to. We have SCM, supply chain management analyst, okay? Supply chain analyst. So the supply chain, that's where my been the last couple of 5 years. So I've been working majorly with supply chain organizations, okay? And this is where you start to forecast, you have to predict, you have to understand, supply chain patterns and so on and so forth, okay? Fraud analyst, okay? You predicting who is going to be fraudulent, who is going to, even credit analyst, pricing analyst, market research analyst, logistics analyst. There are so many other roles you could actually take on. So most people just don't think that, oh, data scientist, if you don't see data scientist as the person's, with the person's title, the person is not a data scientist. That's wrong. All right. Just a ton of roles that you could actually apply to. And those are the kind of awareness that we're bringing to bear. So you're not just learning data science to become a data scientist. There are a ton of other jobs you can actually take on. All right. So, drop a one, please, if you're still following me. I want to see the guys that are following me. All right. If you're still following, please drop a one. I would like to know. All right. All right, fantastic. So this is the role of the data scientist. This is the role of the data science, and it's a very interesting career path to take on for the guys looking to go into data science. All right. So that's that about data science. So one key, like I mentioned, the key technology to use it is Python. All right. You will learn Python, but you would also learn other tools to accompany the Python that you're going to learn. All right. So let's go into data engineering. Like I mentioned, this is it's relatively new. All right. It's just about 5 years old, if give or take 5 years old. All right. And I'll tell you the reason why these guys are in demand also. All right. I told you the reason why data science is in demand, not because of prediction. Businesses want to predict, they want to know what will happen. Okay. You want to literally, if you're even going to work, for the guys in the UK, US, and outside the country, even if some people in Nigeria too, you want to know the weather for tomorrow, okay, so that you know how to plan the kind of dress you wear, okay, the kind of clothes you wear, the kind of shoe you wear. So if you as an individual, you need forecast in order for you to plan your day the next day, the kind of clothes where you go to, and so on and so forth. You need that forecast. You need that weather forecast to be able to do that. Now talk more of a business, okay, that wants to make money, that wants to make sales. They need that forecast in order for them to plan better. Okay. Now the data engineer, very interesting role. Okay. Very, very interesting role. Somebody's asking about big data. At what point do we use big data? And I will explain it. You ask that question at the right time, Michael. That's the role of the data engineer. So you see, the data engineer, okay, is synonymous with the work of a plumber. Okay. Do we all know plumber? If in Nigeria we say it's plumber. Plumber. Do we know the plumber? Do you know what plumber is? Do you know plumber? All right. All right. The plumber. Okay. I'll say plumber because plumber. All right. Anyway, the plumber. Okay. You see, what's the role of the plumber? Okay. Basically, let me explain the plumber. You will understand it better. So you have a tank. You have a water source. Let me say a tank. Let me draw a tank. You have a tank. Okay. This is a tank. What's the popular tank in Nigeria? Let me see the true Nigerians in the house. Okay. What's the most popular tank you have in Nigeria? GP. Let's go. All right. All right. Okay. GP tank. Okay. So you see, there's one big tank that will be outside the house. Big. And you guys know it already. The name of the tank is GP tank. Okay. GP. Let's go. All right. So you have that GP tank outside. But inside your house, okay? Inside your house, okay? Inside your house, you have several rooms. You have several rooms inside your house. Okay? Now you want this water to move from this is the data water source. This is the water source. Okay, this is your water source. Okay, you want this water from the GP connect you to the house, and you want water to flow. You want water to flow from the GP tank, okay, into all the bedrooms, into all the bedrooms. So you need water in this place. Water should be there. Water should run here. All right. Water in this room, there should be water in this room. Water in this room, there should be water in this room. In this place too, water is, and any other parts in the house that need water, the kitchen, the garage, the every part of the house that needs water, you should be able to get water anywhere across the house. Okay, so you have the water source somewhere. Okay, and basically the plumber will now build pipes, will lay pipes that will connect that GP tank into all the rooms in the house. That's the role of the plumber. So the data engineer essentially is like a plumber. Okay. So now let's take a look at a bank. I like to use a bank because we can all resonate with a bank. Now the bank, if you want to send money today, tell me the places you send money. How if you want to send money to, let's say you want to send money today, how would you send money? First of all, how would you send money? Some people would use POS. I think POS currently in Nigeria is like the mainstay at the moment. Okay. All right. Some people, exactly. Somebody has POS. So POS is the first one. Okay. Anyway, the bank app, fantastic. So you have another one. You have the bank app. Okay. So you go on the app in order for you to send money. USSD, fantastic. I love that. Okay. You guys are the smartest people. USSD. Okay. Which other one is there? I'll just take one more. One more. Okay. And let's just use the last but not the least. Let's use ATM. So you can go to the ATM to actually send money. Let's just say this four parts. Okay. You see, the transactions, okay? The transactions, I'll call it trans, okay? The transaction from POS, when you transact on POS, that all those transactions on POS is sent to a database, okay? Is sent to a database, okay? I'll call it POSDB. DB stands for database, okay? DB, okay, is database. Okay, database. Okay, so POS transactions get stored in POS database. Bank app, the same thing. The transaction from bank app will be stored in the bank app database. Okay, the USSD, the same thing. There'll be a storage, there'll be a database that stores the database, the data transaction from USSD. ATM, the same thing. The ATM machine that you have, okay, in across all the locations. When you transact on ATM, they store everything on an ATM database. So you see, just like your phone, okay, just like your phone, the way it is metalized. So if you take a picture, the pictures are stored where? In gallery. If you want to save somebody's number, it is saved in contacts. Okay. If you want to, there are different parts where you can save. Videos are stored in videos. In even though it is inside gallery, it is stored in another folder entirely. All right. So even though it's just one bank, all right, POS transactions are stored in a POS database. Okay. Bank app is stored in bank app database. USSD. the data from all the transaction that happens, okay, on using USSD is stored in a USSD database. And ATM also is stored in an ATM database. Okay. Now let's just say these are the four profiles. Now, let's say the CEO now comes. The CEO, okay, says that, asks this question, okay, what payment channel, okay, had the most transactions last month, had the most transactions, okay, last year. Okay, what payment? The CEO is asking a question. What payment channel? Okay, I put the payment channel. Okay, what payment channel had the most transactions last year? Okay, so the CEO needs to find out the reasons. Which of these four channels? Which of these four channels had the most transactions last year? All right. Now, the data analyst or the data scientist will be the one to do this, to answer this question. It's not the role of the data engineer. The data analyst or the data scientist will be the one to answer this question. What payment channel had the most transaction last year? So basically, this is what we call to describe descriptive analytics. You're trying to find out what happened last year. Okay. Now, in order for the data analyst or the data scientist to answer this question, okay, all right, they will need to look at all the data from all four of them. Okay, they will need to look at the data from all the four platforms: POS, bank app, USSD, ATM. It's not very efficient to do that, to look at them one after the other. So they'll look at POS first, then they'll now look at bank app, they'll now look at USSD. It's not efficient to do that. So that's where the data engineer comes in. That's where the data engineer comes in. Okay, that's where the data engineer comes in. All right. So you need all the data. You need all the data in a centralized location, which is what we call a data warehouse. Okay, you need all this data, the four places. You need all this data in a central, okay, data warehouse. You need all the data from POS, bank, USSD, and ATM. You need all the data from this database, all the transaction from all the database. You need it to be stored in a central data warehouse. So that's where they now start to use what we call ETL. Do you guys know what ETL stands for? Do you guys know what ETL stands for? ETL. Anybody want to try? I want to just see people that will try. You could just try ETL. What does ETL stands for? 1 millionaire, 1 million for the person that gets it. Hey, 1 million. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. So it's actually extract. E for extract. Okay. T for transform. And L for load. Okay. Extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. So E for extract, T for transform, L for load. All right. So basically, that's what ETL stands for. So you see the data from the POS, the data engineer, first of all, will extract the data from POS database. Okay, will extract, that's the first level. Will extract, first thing is to extract. Then also to transform, we need to transform that's the next point. So you extract the data, that's the first point. We'll transform the data. Basically, like I'll just explain, the best way to explain it is if you go to the market today to buy food stuff, you want to cook stew, or you want to cook jollof rice, okay? You go to the market to buy rice, you buy the pepper, you buy all the ingredients you need. When you get to the house, after purchasing, after extracting the data, extracting the food stuff from the market, okay? After getting the food stuff from the market and you get to your house, you can't just start to cook, okay? You need to transform. You need to transform the ingredients. Basically, you need to clean. You need to clean it, all right? You need to wash the rice. You need to wash the pepper before you blend it. you will need to, there are quite a number of things you need to do. So when you go to the market to buy this food stuff, they're usually dirty. They're not clean. All right. The guys in the market, even though they clean it, you still get to your house to reclean it. Okay. All right. So the transformation is that cleaning. So you're extracting data from the database. It's likely not going to be clean. Okay. So you're going to be cleaning the data, and you would also be doing what we call restructuring the data. You need to restructure, or that's if need be. Okay. So you clean, you would restructure, you would, when you say cleaning, it means that you're handling missing values, you are dealing with wrong figures, you're just dealing with improper data, basically. All right, that's the cleaning you're talking about. So after extracting, when you extract, you transform. And after transform, when the data is clean and it looks nice, then you load it into the data warehouse. You load it, load, all right, which is the third part. You load the data into the data warehouse. So extract from the database, you transform to clean it up, and you load it into the data warehouse. Okay, you do the same thing for the back app. Okay, you do the same thing for USSD database, and you do the same thing from the ATL. So you see all the data from all the 4 locations, okay, are now what? In one central location. So all the data that used to exist in 4 different locations are now currently consolidated in one central location, which is called the data warehouse. Okay. Now, this is where the data analyst or the data scientist, you see these 2 professionals, this is where they will now connect. So they will work, rather than working with all 4 databases, they will work with just one data source, which is the data warehouse, which is this data warehouse that the data engineer has created. Okay. So in order for them to answer this question, what payment channel had the most transactions last year? The data analyst, the data scientist will connect to this central data source in order for them to do their work, in order for them to do the analysis. So you see the machine learning, the statistical analysis, all the things that we talked about earlier. In order for the data scientists to do that, they need data. Okay, and this is a data engineer that makes this data available. Okay, that makes it available for them to do their job. Exactly. So that's the ETL. So the data engineer basically is, like I mentioned, plumber that ensures that data is flowing perfectly to the right place. Okay, it's building what we call data pipelines. Okay, data pipelines, all right, that makes data flow from one source to the other source. Okay, so this is what we call a pipeline. So you see the way the pipe is rolling into the data warehouse. Okay, that's basically the pipeline. So the data pipeline is a data engineer that builds that pipeline that moves data from one data source to a central location. All right, so another data source. All right, so that's the role of the data engineer. So there is no organization that doesn't need a data engineer, because this is just a bank. This is literally, I just explained the role of a bank, for example, data engineering within a bank. It literally could be any organization. Okay. All right. Every organization store data within different locations. Some people are using SAP. Okay. Some organizations use SAP, Salesforce, and several other data sources. Okay. And how do you now consolidate? How do you merge all this data into one central location? That's the role of the data engineer. All right. So what do you need to learn to become to be successful in the career of data engineering? Okay. So for beginners, obviously you need to do, like I mentioned, it's a new career path, relatively new career path. Okay, so you need to understand the fundamentals of data engineering. So what's a database? What's a data lake? What's a data warehouse? What's the difference between a data mart and a data warehouse? So on and so forth. So you need to understand the basics. What's ACID when you're looking at database? All right, what's ACID? What is base? Okay, you need to understand all these key fundamentals in order for you to get started. Okay, so you also need to learn SQL, okay, which is structured query language. Okay, you also get to work with Python. Okay, so you see another Python, another key tool that you need to learn. Now you also get to work with Linux. You get to build custom ETL pipelines. All right, so you'll be extracting data from databases. You'll be extracting data from API. You'll be extracting data from the web. All right, so you're doing what we call web scraping. You'll be extracting data from the web also. You also get to work with Apache Spark. Okay, so for example, the guy asking about big data, in order for you to move, that big chunk of data from one source to the other source, you need to work with distributed systems like Apache Spark. Okay, so you get to work with Apache Spark in order for you to be able to work with big data, move the big data easily from one source to the other source, do your ETL transformation and all that. Okay. Automation also, pipeline automation, you get to work with Apache Airflow. You also get to work with cloud services like AWS, all right, AWS, GCP, Azure. You get to work with any of these technologies, okay? Version control, you also get to work with GitHub, okay? GitHub for version control. And last but not the least, you also get to work with ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot, for coding. All right. So those are the key learning points for you to look into getting into data engineering. SQL, Python, Linux, Apache Spark, Apache Airflow, AWS, GitHub. These are key technologies you need to learn in order for you to get started in the role of a data engineer. Okay? So someone's asking a question, Ikena is asking a question. This data warehouse, is it inside a particular platform, either SQL or or either SQL or Excel? No, it's SQL, it's plainly SQL. So the data warehouse, basically, the key difference between the database, okay, and the data warehouse, just know this today, is analytics. Okay, analytics. Okay, so what makes the key difference between the database and the data warehouse is the data warehouse is optimized for analytics. Okay, the data warehouse is optimized for analytics. Hence the reason why the data engineer will build a data warehouse, okay, move data from different databases, okay, move data from different databases, okay, and load it into the data warehouse, okay. This data warehouse will act as a source of analytics for the business, okay. All right. So different organizations would have different databases scattered across the organization. All right. But the data analyst and the data scientist will not be able to connect to all the databases. So the data engineer basically builds that pipeline that will move data from all these sources into the data warehouse. And then the data science and the data analyst will be able to use it for analytics. Okay, so what really makes the difference between a database and a data warehouse is analytics. So it's still the same platform. So if it is SQL Server, if it is Postgres database, Postgres SQL, if it is MySQL, is the way it is designed. Okay, how it is optimized for analytics that makes it very different from one another. All right, so that's the data warehouse. Okay. Right. Okay. So when you get to that, those are the things that you cover in the beginning aspect that makes you understand it a lot better. Okay. All right. Okay, so these are the key technologies you need to learn. Somebody's asking a question, if one goes for data science, does it cover data engineering, analytics, and others? No. And that's the reason why we're going through this. Data science is core data science, predictions, and all that. So you won't be learning engineering in data science. You won't also be learning data science in data engineering. So you see here, there is nothing that has to do with statistics, modeling, or machine learning, computer vision. There is nothing like that. So the tools for Python here, okay, the Python that you're going to be learning here will be used to you use it to build custom ETL pipelines. So you'll use Python in moving data from one source to another source. All right. The same thing with data science. You'll be using Python for machine learning, computer vision, data visualization, data analysis, and so on. All right. So different tools, different applications. All right. Now, the role of the data engineer, okay, learning timeline is for 5 months, okay? You learn for 3 months and you have 2 months of internship, 2 months immersive internship where you get to work on more hands-on projects, build more applications, build more pipelines, and get yourself, engrossed, get yourself fully marinated in the whole process itself. Okay. Now, the live classes. Okay, so you have live classes just on Saturday, all right, between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. Okay, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time, and For the guys in Canada, that would be early morning for you. The guys in Canada, US, it is 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. MST, Mountain Standard Time. So if you're looking to become a data engineer, you're looking to register, this is a time live class for Saturday. Sunday is for self-paced, okay? Watch me do it videos where you get to build projects at your own pace. And I'll explain the watch me do it videos very well when we get to the other side of the training program. Okay? So that's the Saturday and the Sunday classes. So now, what other roles can you apply for as a data engineer? Very interesting question, isn't it? Data engineer, okay, you can apply for data engineering roles, data architect roles, ETL developer roles, SEM, sorry, that's not SEM. Okay, you can also apply for big data engineer roles, cloud data engineer roles, BI developer, data administrator, and so many other roles. So a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm learning data engineering. Okay. There's no other role I can apply to. There are tons of other roles you can apply to. ETL developer, BI, business intelligence developer, big data engineer. These are all roles you can actually apply to. And cloud engineer also, you can apply for cloud engineering roles. You get to work with tools like, cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, GCP, Google Cloud Platform. You will get to work with different cloud platform, during the training program. Okay. Let me see if there's any other questions in the chat for the guys that were looking to get started in data engineering. Okay, Ikena is asking, which do you recommend most, sir? MySQL, Postgres, SQL Server. So Ikena, every organization would have multiple SQL platform or database platforms. So there is none that I recommend. There's none I recommend. SQL is more or less like a general language, okay, that you can apply to any database. Okay, so there's no fit for purpose, there's no answer fit for purpose, there's no platform that I would say I would recommend, okay, to use or to different organization. I've worked with organizations that are using about 3, 4 platforms at the same time. And that's because they're using different applications, different use cases, and so on. So just learn SQL. And that's the reason why we're teaching you SQL. Okay, we're not teaching you a platform, we're teaching you SQL. Okay, all right. So SQL is the language. Okay, so take for example English language. So English, you go to the US, it's English. You go to the UK, it's English. You go to Canada, it's English. So English is, even though the way they speak it, the way they pronounce it might be different, but it's still the fundamental is the language. English is the language. So learn the language, which is SQL, and you're going to be fine. Okay, that's exactly what we're going to teach you. Now, cybersecurity. For my cyber guys, the guys that are going into cyber security, let's talk about cyber security. All right. And I like to use cybersecurity. I used to use my personal experience to explain this because that's the best way most people understand. So we all use WhatsApp. We all use WhatsApp. Okay. We all use WhatsApp. Okay. Sorry. We all use WhatsApp. Okay. All right. So all of us can resonate with this. Okay. So a friend of mine, okay, a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, his WhatsApp was hacked. Okay. His WhatsApp was hacked. Okay. All right. His WhatsApp was hacked. All right. And the fraudster, okay, I'll put this, the fraudster, okay, this is the fraudster. The fraudster, the person that acts is, the person that acts, this is my friend's WhatsApp, okay, all right, decided to scam the people, some of his contacts, okay, that's this my friend here. So scammed, about last the day it happened, okay, he scammed about 5 people to the tune of roughly almost $200, almost $200 in value. All right. And let me tell you exactly what happened. So the hacker hacked his WhatsApp, okay, and started sending messages to all the contacts, started sending messages to all these guys' contacts, okay, and I was one of them, fortunately or unfortunately. So he sent me a message and was asking for, oh, my guy, Alpha, what's happening? He's currently trying to make a transaction, trying to send money to somebody, but his limit for the day has been exhausted. And I send him at that point in time was 30,000 naira. Okay, was 30,000 naira. Okay, can you send 30,000 naira to me or to an account, and I was like, oh, this is a friend of mine. Like we've been talking, we've known each other for almost over a decade. Okay, so I was just like, okay, no problem. So I sent the money to the account. Okay, to the account the guy this ACA provided. Okay, all right, and that was how the guy came back again to ask for more money. And that was when I felt something was happening because the person I know would not be moving, wouldn't ask for money in that certain way. So, but I'd sent the 30,000 naira. Okay, I'd sent the first one, then he came back for the second one, and that's when I found out that it's a bit too sketchy. All right, for this my friend to be asking for money back to back. Okay, so I said, okay, do you know what? Answer this question. Where you be? Where are you? Instead of asking personal question that the ACA will not be able to answer. And that was when I found out that his WhatsApp was hacked. But later, I got to find out that it's some other people, about 5 people. And when you do the calculation of everything, mine was about 30,000 naira. When you do the calculation of all the people they scammed together, it was almost $200 in terms of value. All right. But this is just one person. One person. All right. All right. This is just one person. Now imagine an organization. Imagine a business that deals with over this, maybe the number of contacts on his phone, maybe 500 people, maybe he has 500 or maybe 1,000 people on his contacts. And just that day, they were able to scam about 5 people out of 100 people. Now imagine an organization that deals with over 2 million customers, that boasts of 2 million customer base. If there's an hacker, okay, that can hack the systems organization, okay, that can hack the organization, gain access to 2 million of their customers, that's a huge that's huge in terms of liability. Okay, they can hack and they can steal as much as possible. Now take the look at Patricia. Okay, this was shy over 2 years ago. All right, just about 2 years ago or thereabout, give or take. Patricia was hacked. The cryptocurrency platform. Okay, which was I think they were doing very very well. And all that brought the organization to where it is at this point in time was they hacked the business. And what happened? They moved people's crypto deposit or their amount. They moved it. They diverted it into other accounts. Again, they scattered it across different places, which made it very difficult to track and so on. So you see, just imagine a bank, a popular bank, the bank you're working with at the moment, their information gets hacked, and they move all the money from the bank. Okay, all right, that's a huge one. Not just moving the money out of the bank. Imagine, you're banking with a bank, you are banking with a bank, okay, and all of a sudden somebody's just calling you, asking you for your credit card details, asking you for information. There's one call or the other from one bank that is, there's always one scam or the other that is you will get frustrated to say that I don't want to work with this bank anymore because, how did they get my number? How did they get my information? How do they know that I am banking with this bank? Do you understand? So this kind of information, all right, that is where cybersecurity comes in play. All right. Cybersecurity basically means that, majority of our operations today, okay, is via the internet, via the web. Okay? Via everything that you're doing today, majority of it is via the web. Okay? You want to send somebody money via the web. The session we are having currently now at this point in time is over the internet, it's over the web. You need internet in order for you to access this live session. So majority of the things that we do today is via the web. Now, the key question now is, how does an organization secure themselves on the web to avoid to avoid hackers, to secure themselves against hackers and so on? Like I mentioned, one person with just about a shy over five, let's say a thousand different contacts in just a span of, I would say, in the span of when I called another of my friend, okay, in the span of almost 3 hours, they were able to scam 5 people to the tune of almost $200. Now imagine an organization with 2 million customer base scattered across the world. Hackers, if they get information, they can do more damage. Okay, they can actually do more damage. All right. So that's exactly where cybersecurity comes in. How do you secure your business via the web, on the web? How do you secure it? That's where cybersecurity analysts can come in. And now what makes this interesting is because of, the every business is online. Literally, there is no business that is brick and mortar. Okay, you have to go. They don't have a website. They don't have any information. You can't buy anything off their website. You see, they can't scale. In order for you to scale, you need to put your business online on the internet. People can access it from anywhere. Today, if I want to buy something on Jumia, all I need to just do is open. I'm not in Nigeria. I can buy something on Jumia and have it delivered to somebody I needed to. I can go on Chowdeck, order for food for somebody in Nigeria, and I am not in Nigeria. Now, those are the things those are the scalability businesses are looking for. The scale to the extent that anywhere at any point you can perform, you can transact over the internet. So the key question is, how do we protect ourselves? How do we protect the business from hackers, scammers trying to, bypass whatever security measures you've put in place to get your personal data and use it to perpetrate fraud? Okay, how do you prevent this? That's the cybersecurity. Okay, that's the role of the cybersecurity analyst. So you will go through all the things that we have here. So, like I said, introduction, you have to start with the introduction. As a beginner, you need to understand key concepts of cybersecurity. You go to fundamental foundations of computing and networking. All right, very important because every business operates via computer, via system, via the internet. So you need to understand computing and networking. All right, information security principles. All right, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, cryptographic basics, which is a very interesting thing for you to learn. So just to divert a little bit, I'm still going to go back to WhatsApp, okay, because this is something that we all use on a day-to-day. So you've used WhatsApp, you'll find out that there's a place they say end-to-end encryption. Have you guys seen this thing before? End-to-end encryption. All right. Have you guys seen this before? End-to-end encryption. What do you, if you've seen it, where do you see it on your WhatsApp? Okay. You've seen it. Oh, like I say a lot. Yes, it's coming in. Okay, fantastic. So you see, when you go on WhatsApp, you see end-to-end encryption. So basically, what does this mean? Okay, let me explain it to you. And that's where cryptography comes into play. Okay. This is where decryption comes in. So you see, person A, okay, is sending a message to person B. Person A is sending a message to person B. So the message will go like this. Okay. All right. So when you press send on WhatsApp, when you press send, the moment you press send, you type in your message and you send the message, this encryption will kick in. This encryption will kick in. All right. So the message will leave your phone and gets delivered in phone B. It's only when it gets delivered, it's only when it gets to phone B that this person will be able to read the message. Okay, it's only when it gets to the person's WhatsApp, when person B opens his WhatsApp, or if the person has internet and it gets delivered on the person's phone, that's when the person will be able to read the message. Why is it end to end? Let me tell you now. If there is an hacker somewhere, okay, that bypass, that wants to bypass, okay, all right, I want to take the information, that wants to just be hanging up, hanging around, okay, that wants to be hanging around in the middle here, so that when you send this, you won't know that the person is looking at your messages. So the thing about this end-to-end encryption is, if the hacker comes anywhere, okay, tries to intercept this message that you're sending, okay, the person will not be able to read it. Okay, it will be encrypted to the extent that it will be so useless. It will be so useless for the person to even intercept the message before it gets delivered. If the hacker intercepts it before the message gets delivered, the person will not be able to read it. No matter what you try, it won't be possible for the hacker to read your message. And this is the reason why you have these users, you have what we call two-factor authentication, because hackers know that if they try to intercept, they won't be able to read it. They need access to your device. They need access to your number. They need access to your device itself in order for them to read your message. Hence the reason why they would like to hack your phone, your own personal WhatsApp, in order for them to see exactly what to read, to communicate. All right. And that's where you have two-factor authenticator to be able to build another level of security. All right. To build that level of security. All right. So that the hackers will not be able to get access to your device. Ideally, what other hackers will do is intercept the message. So it will get delivered to you, no doubt about that. But it's just like a parasite that is latching onto it. So the person will be able to read your messages, all right, and they will just be in the middle here. They'll just But because of this end-to-end encryption, which is where cryptography comes in, all right, the person will not be able to read the messages if they intercept it. All right. Hence the reason why they would attack your personal device in order for them to be able to read your messages. All right. But that's where you now have to put another level of security, which is called the two-factor security authenticator, in order for your device to be more secured than regular. Okay, so that's encryption. So that's where you come with cryptography basics. So this is you building this kind of systems. All right, you decoding, you building, coming up with ways you can actually build this by yourself. All right. So you'll also get to work with cyber threats and attack vectors, network security, endpoint security, web and application security, cloud security. So you see, this four parts is what every organization comprises of. You have the network security, you have the endpoint security, you have web and application security, and you have the cloud security. So for organizations that are moving to the cloud, migrating to the cloud, you would be able to build, security measures across their platforms, going into the cloud. You also get to work with incident response and forensic, cybersecurity policies, and compliance. These are things that you get to work with. Okay. Now, learning timelines for the cybersecurity training program is 4 months in total, 3 months of immersive learning, and 1 month of internship, free virtual internship. Okay, 3 months of learning. This is where you learn everything that we've talked about so far. Okay, using Python to build, to analyze, to decode, and so on and so forth. Okay, so 3 months of learning and 1 month of free virtual internship. Now you have your live classes on Saturday, Monday in the morning, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Okay, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And on Sunday, we have 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. Okay, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. So that's exactly what you have. So these are classes Saturday and Sunday. So you have classes on Saturday and you have classes on Sunday, live classes. Unlike the data science and the data engineering, you would have live classes Saturdays and on Sunday. All right. And that's where you get to start working. Okay. So you can see how Python is being played, is being used across these three critical career paths. Okay. The data science, these are roles that you could also apply to. Okay, so when you talk about cybersecurity, you can apply for a ton of other roles. You can apply for cybersecurity jobs. There's one role called SOC analyst, which is security and operations center analyst. You can apply for compliance analyst roles, cyber threat intelligence analyst, information security analyst, network security analyst. All right, forensic analyst, incident report analyst. There are a ton of other roles you could actually apply to. This is just a tip of the iceberg of some of the roles you can actually apply to. All right. So looking at all these three career paths that we looked at today, all right, can you tell me the one that you are most interested in, the one that you're interested in the most? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Let's see. So data science, data engineering, and cybersecurity. Which of them sounds like the career paths that you would want to take on? You would like to go into? Cybersecurity, you want to be building data engineering, wow, quite a number of cybersecurity guys in here. That's good. Data science, data science and cybersecurity. That's huge. That's massive. Okay. All right, let's go. Cybersecurity, data engineering, data science. Awesome, awesome. That's exactly why we're here today. All right, that's literally why we're here today. Okay, I won't catch you. That's fantastic. Okay, all right. So before we go into why you should trade with analytics, before we go into that real quick, okay? Okay. let me just show you a little bit about Python. Let me just show you the Python environment. Let's just take a sneak peek into the Python environment. Okay, so I'm just going to open my browser. Okay, and I'm going to be using Google Colab. Okay, Google Colab. Okay, all right. That's what I'm going to be using anyways. There are different platforms you could work with, but I'm going to be using Google Colab for this session today. All right. So just a quick one. I'm just going to do it very quickly. All right, so we can see it. So let me just say this is the March 2023, March 2023 masterclass. Okay, so I'm just trying to rename the file. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to rename the file. Okay, so basically this is Google Colab. Okay, so this is Google Colab. And the best way for me to explain this, okay, the best way for me to explain this is to use, let me just write here. Let me see what I can write here. All right, so see, this is Google Colab. They call this Google Colab. You don't need to type anything. I'm just explaining, okay? So Google Colab allows you to write Python codes, allows you to write Python, okay? So you see, this is what we call, Google Colab is what we call an IDE, is what we call IDE. So I for integrated, okay? D for development, okay? Then this is for environment, okay? Integrated development environment. So a lot of people you might get like, I don't like big words. So, when you're getting started in all this kind of career paths, it gets tricky because of the terminology. So IDE, integrated development environment, might sound very technical, okay? But let me explain it to you. If you want to write you want to write thesis, okay? If today you are asked to write a thesis or, your project, okay, or any project, written project, what platform would you write? What platform would you go to do this, to do your thesis? Okay? What platform would you go to do this? What platform would you go to do this? Let me see. Can you guys, if you want to write your thesis today, what platform would you go to write this, to do this? Okay. No, Google. Okay, no, I mean like to write the thesis. So you would likely go with your Word document, your Word, Microsoft Google Docs, exactly, Word, Microsoft Word, MS Word. Okay, you'll go to do that in MS Word. So tomorrow, the next day, if you want to do a presentation, where would you go to? You'll go to PowerPoint, okay, or Google Slides. Okay, so you see, there are tools that you could use to your PowerPoint. If you want to do spreadsheet application, you want to do like your spreadsheet calculation, okay? Okay, you want to do spreadsheet calculations, you would use Microsoft Excel. Okay, exactly. All of you use Excel. I can see all the Excel coming in. Okay, so you use Excel. So for your thesis, your project, you use Microsoft Word. For presentation, you use PowerPoint. For spreadsheets, you would use Excel. Okay, so you see, if you carry a formula, so if you write the formula in Excel, let's say the formula is equals to F1 multiplied by, okay, multiplied by B2. Okay, if you carry this formula to Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word doesn't understand this formula. Okay, Microsoft Word doesn't understand this formula. If you carry the same formula to PowerPoint, PowerPoint also does not understand this formula. So you see, if you want to create presentation, you cannot create it in you can't create it in Microsoft Word. You also cannot create a PowerPoint presentation in a spreadsheet application. So what would you do? You need PowerPoint. So you see, these are all environment. Microsoft Word is an environment that allows you to do your thesis, okay, your project, your written project. You want to write an article, you use Microsoft Word. okay, to write your article. Okay, it makes it easy for you to write your article. You can do your table of content, you can put your footnotes, you can put your header. It's built for you to write your articles, your project, your thesis, all that. Presentation. You want to create a presentation slides that will move from one slide to the next slide to the next slide. PowerPoint is another environment that allows you to do that. Okay. If you want to do spreadsheet calculations and all that, Excel is another environment that allows you to write all the spreadsheet calculations to do all those stuff. So basically, every application that you see out there is an environment, okay, that allows you to perform a certain task. Okay, Microsoft Word for your thesis, presentation, PowerPoint, spreadsheets, Excel. Okay, so now what platform, what environment are we going to use for Python? You have a tool like Google Colab that would allow you to write Python, okay, and it would understand the Python that you're writing. Okay, if I take Python code and I put it in Microsoft Word, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. If I take PowerPoint, if I take Python and I put it in PowerPoint, nothing will happen. If I take Python code and I write it in Excel, nothing will happen. Okay? All right. So Google Colab is an environment that understands Python. Okay? Google Colab. Okay. And there are so many one of them out there. There is PyCharm. All right. There's PyCharm. Okay. All right. There's VS Code. Okay. There is Spider. Okay. Which other popular one is there? Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook. Okay. And there are so many other ones. So these are just some. Google Colab is just one out of so many. The way you have Microsoft Word, you have WPS, you have, Google Docs. These are all Word application. Do you understand? PowerPoint, you have Microsoft PowerPoint, you have Google Slides, you have Canvas, you have so many tools that you can use to do presentation. The same thing with Excel. There is WPS for spreadsheets. There is Microsoft Excel. There are several tools you could use for Excel calculation or spreadsheet calculation. It's the same way Google Colab is not the only one that exists. There is PyCharm, there is VS Code, there is Spider, there is Jupyter Notebook, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly what Google Colab is. Okay. So without wasting too much time, we're just gonna let's just build something very easy. Password. Let's just do something quickly in password. So let's just say let me type in the correct, let me just say correct password. I'm gonna say correct underscore password. I want to build like a password system. So let me just write it here. I want to build a password verification application, or let's say system rather. Okay, all right, password verification system. Can you guys see my screen very well? Let me just confirm, please. If you can see my screen very well, please just put a 1 in the chat so I can fire ahead. Can you guys see my screen well? Okay. All right, fantastic. Don't worry, we're almost done with the session. Okay, we're almost done with the session. Don't worry. But this is the last thing I just want to do. Just for you to see a real life application of Python. Okay, so let's say password verification system. So let's say, when you create an account, when you enter into a platform, you are asked to create an account. So let's say when you create the account the first time, once you create the account, I'm just going to say correct password. Okay, and I'm going to use, I'm going to say Taiwo 123 is the password. Taiwo 123 is my correct password. Okay, so now let me just test. The next time you're trying to log into the application is to ask you, please input your password. Okay, all right, it will ask you, please input your password. So I'll say password equals to input, okay, and I'll ask the question, please insert your password here, okay? All right, please insert your password here, okay? All right, so once you do that, okay, I'll now use the conditional statement to say out if the password that you put here, this password here, you know, this password I'm putting here, if this password, okay, is equals to the correct password, okay, the correct password, okay, all right, I would say print login successful, login successful, okay, print login successful, else, no. I'm going to go and run it. So give me a second, I'm going to cancel it. Just going to cancel it. Okay. Okay. Just give me a second. Yes, I don't want to show you. There's no error there. Okay. So if password is equals to correct password, okay, if it's equals to correct password, login successful, else, okay, print wrong password. I want to write it finish before I run in. Okay, wrong password. Okay, please try again. Please try again. Okay, so now let me run it now. So my correct password, let me explain it one more time. My correct password is Taiwo123. Okay, that's my correct password. So when I created the account the first time, this is the password. This is my correct password. Okay, password. I'm not, when you are trying to when you're trying to log into the account, it will still ask you, please insert your password here. So your password, whatever password you put here, must be equals to the correct password, which is 5123. So whatever password you put over here must be equals to the correct password, which is 5123. Okay, so if it is correct, login successful. If it is not correct, wrong password, please try again. Okay, so let's quickly do it. So I'll run this, okay? So I'll put in Ifemena, let me just put Ifemena, okay? 123, and I run it. You see, wrong password, please try again. So let me put in the right password this time around. I'll put in the right password, I'll say Taiwo, okay? Taiwo, 123. All right, and I run this, you see, login successful. Okay, now, can anybody tell me the problem with this particular, with what I have done so far? Is there a potential problem? Okay, so if I miss the password one time, if I put in the password one time, let's say Emeka Moshari, Emeka 222 and I run enter. You see, it will tell me wrong password. Please try again. So normally, most applications, when you put in your details like this, it will try again, but it will try again, try again, try again. At least how many times do you need to try again? Let me ask you. How many times do you need to try again? What's the ideal, or what would you say? How many times trial? So Michael is the fastest, 3. So let's quickly build a system that will take 3 attempts. Okay? Let's build a system that will take about 3 attempts. Okay. Okay. Password verification system, let's say 3 attempts. Okay. I'll take 3 attempts. Let me say 3 attempts. Okay, 3 attempts. All right. So I'm just gonna, so let's say 3 attempts. So do you know what I'll do? Okay, I'll copy the password here. I'll copy this one. I'll still use it. I'll just copy it for now. All right. So I'll say um I'll paste it here. Okay, so now this is my password. This is my correct password, which is still there. So here I will now use what we call for loop. For loop, okay, which allows you to perform it allows you to perform an operation a certain number of times. Okay, so if you want something to happen 3 times, if you want something to happen 5 times, if you want something to happen 7 times, depending on, you will use the for loop. So if you have a defined number of times you want something to happen, use the for loop. So If your password is correct, if the password is correct, okay, I would break, okay, and else successful, this should be correct. Okay, yes, sorry. Okay, all right, so this is literally the code I'm going to use, okay? So I'm just going to reduce the spaces so that I can have enough space for you guys to see what I'm doing. All right. Sorry. Okay, so now let's test it out. Now, just because of this for loop I'm using, I'll be able to perform this operation 3 times, for example. So please insert your password here. So if I try the first time I put in the wrong password, let's say I put in IZ, IZ2332. All right. You see, wrong password. Okay, please try again. That's just because I'm using this for loop 3 times. So if I put in another wrong password, let's say I put in Chris, 123, and I press enter again. You see, wrong password. Please try again. So now let me put in the right password, Taiwo, or let me just still put in the wrong password, Andre. Let me say Andre, 123 or 133. You see, wrong password. Please try again. All right. So now let me just put in the password the first time. Let me say Taiwo123. Okay. Login successful. And you see, once you log in, there's no need for you to write your password again. Hence the reason for the break. But anyways, this is just to show you how Python works. How Python works. It's basically logic. If you can speak English, okay, if you can speak English, trust me, guys, you can learn Python. It's not as technical as most people think it is. Most people are running away from, technical roles like the data science, data engineering, cybersecurity analyst, because they feel like Python is difficult to learn. But one thing is that if you can understand English, if you can understand a business problem, you can learn Python. You can use Python. So basically, that's exactly what I've done. So if you take a look at what I've done here, if the password, I'm going to ask you to put in your password, okay? I'm going to ask you to put in your password. If your password is equal to the correct password, login successful. It's as simple as that. If it is not, okay, wrong password, please try again. It's as simple as that. So all you need, most people have been learning it people have been learning Python in a very unconventional way. All right, you're going to YouTube to somebody that is teaching 5,000 or 13,000, 20,000 people. Really doesn't really care about the way you will understand. Okay, all right, just cares about passing across a message and that's it. Okay, so now you need to learn Python in a way that you would understand. All right, I found it difficult to learn Python, and that's because I was going to different sources to learn until I devised the particular way for me to learn. That's what really makes me good at Python. So that's the same way you learn building systems like this, okay? Building applications like this, building systems like this that will get you to understand the logic behind how Python works and how you can actually apply it to your job as a data scientist, data engineer, and the cybersecurity analyst. If wrong password, login successful, would it log in? If you print, if you print I'm not sure I understand that question, Namdi. So sorry about that. All right. So you can build it in, and it may be built in a way it will let you know you have certain number of login required. Yes, you can. Okay. So if I do this now, print successful, wrong password. Okay, I can put, let me just say you have, and I'll put, let's just say, I'll just quickly do this so you see. All right. You have, okay, number number of trials. Okay, so inside this place, I'll put I. Okay, I. Okay, and in front here, I'll put R literals. Okay, so now let me run this. I'll show you, and I'll show you the reason why. Let me just put I+1, so I don't need to waste too much time. Okay, I+1. Okay, so it's like your password here. So if I put in the wrong password, let's just put Ife and I run it. So, okay, so this one is telling me, okay, you have, instead of this, I would say this, let me just put this inside bracket. So this one, okay, so that would be I. So, sorry, I. So that is plus one, okay? That will give me, that is, you have one number of trials remaining. So you need to find out, you have three trials. So one minus three, all right, is exactly what you're looking for, okay? So all you need to just do is put in the three in front, okay? And say, whatever number you have one trial, you have two trials, you have three trials. So all you need to do now is just put in, just give me a second. Let me look at the logic I'll put it in. What does I that's another way I'll have to go through. Okay, so what I'll do, I think I'll just create a function for that real quick. I don't need to disturb or there's a easiest way plus one. Okay, so I'll just put it in the brackets. That will be zero plus one will be okay. Okay, straight trial. I'll put trial in here. Okay, the same thing now. Okay, because I'm running it, I'll cancel that. I'll cancel that. I'll run it again. All right. I think with this, I should be done with this. Just run it again. Okay, you set your password, so I'll just put Ife. Okay. So it's three minus the number. So you have two trials already. I went to put it the other way around. So it should be good. All right. So if I run this now, cancel and run again. So if I put in the wrong password, you see, you have two number of trial. Okay, you have two left basically. So I can the writing is wrong, but it's just the logic that you have two trials left. Okay, so you have two trials left. So basically, that's exactly what I've done here. So all I've done is just add this to say that once you add one, basically it will be telling you how many trials you have left. So basically, it's you have two trials left. If it's one, you have one trial left, so on and so forth. So that's basically the way it works. Okay. So if I cancel this and I do it a couple of times, you will get exactly the same results. So if I run this and I put in Toye, for example, Toye 1, 2, 3, and I thought, okay, you have two trials left. I put in Ife, you have one trial left, so on and so forth. You can see it is decreasing, and that's the end. So once you put in the wrong password again, okay, you have zero trials left, okay? Logged out, blocked, you're banned, and so on and so forth. So essentially, the eye basically is counting. The eye is counting. That's what the eye is doing, okay? So I don't need to, we can't spend too much time on that. But basically, the for loop basically allows you to do a certain operation a certain number of time. And that's the best way you can work it out, okay? Um, so this is Python. Okay, so you're going to learn how to do this. Okay, you'll learn how to do this. So and you'll get to build your own applications, get to work hands-on practical knowledge on how to do this. And you're not going to be starting from where we started today. You're going to be starting from the basics. Okay, you're going to be learning the basics in order for you to build your own application. Now, quickly, why should you train with analytics? Okay, why should you train with us? Okay, and this is where I'll be telling you about the four reasons why we have been so successful. Okay, So the first part is phenomenal achievement, helping people get jobs. Okay. For the past 3 years, we've helped over 2,000 people land their first job in the tech space. And we've done this, for people across the world. You're in the US, you're in Canada, you're in the UK, you're in Nigeria, looking to get a job outside the country, you're looking to get a job in Nigeria, you want to get paid more. All right. That's exactly what we know how to do best. So we train you and we also open you up to a ton of opportunity across the world. Industry standard facilitators and curriculum. You see what that's the reason why I walked you through each of the career paths today. So you're going into data science, you're going into data engineering, you're going into cybersecurity. What does it require? Okay, what does the curriculum talking about? That's exactly why we went through that. So you understand, all right, what you get yourself with. Now, the facilitators are going to be teaching you also are people that have a ton of experience in the field, not just any dictionary from any other place. Literally people that have industry experience. Take, for example, myself speaking to you, I have close to a decade experience working across different organizations across the world. Okay, you can check me out on LinkedIn, you can check out literally all the people that have analytics, facilitator experience on their bios on LinkedIn. You see they have a ton of experience working across different fields. So it's not just having industry standard curriculum, but also the facilitators that have a wealth of experience that'll be helping you to do that. Okay. Now, the next part is blended training to accommodate every learning type. So earlier I talked about the watch me do it videos. Okay. All right. And I'll explain this is the reason, this is where it comes in. This blended training to accommodate every learning type. So you see, we have the fast learners, okay, and we have the slow learners like myself. Okay, I'll classify myself as a slow learner. I need to do something 2, 3 times before I understand. And that's what makes us very unique because we understand where learners are coming from. We were ourselves, we were learners when we started. Okay, so we know that there are fast learners and there are slow learners. But the key thing is, how do we keep these two set of people in the same class? Right? Two of you, this set of people are going to be in the same class. How do we now ensure that these two categories of people are moving at the same pace? All right. So you're moving at the same pace as the first learner. So this is where the watch me do it video comes in. So the first learner can come to class, look at the live class, and perhaps about 80 to 85% of the live class, just being in class, they can get about 80 to 85%. But as a slow learner, maybe you're getting a good 30% from the class. Okay. How do you match up to get the same 80, 85%? Okay, and everybody eventually becomes 100% at the end. How do you move this? That's where the watch video review comes in. So it's a blend of live classes. So you're going to be having your live classes anyways. You're going to be having the live classes, but it is paired with the watch me do it videos. So the watch me do it videos are bite-sized videos, okay, that allows you to watch at your own space, at your own pace. Okay. All right. So if you want to, let's say a certain concept that you need to understand, it allows you to work at your own pace. It's project based. You'll be building a project, but you'll be building a project at your own pace. So a live class that is like 3 hours, our live classes are 3 hours. Okay. You see, everything is faster for a 3 hour session because there is a goal that needs to be achieved at the end of the session. So it's more fast paced, even though you answer questions will be answered, it's interactive and so on, but it's limited. It's 3 hours. All right. So there's a limit to the number of questions that can be asked. There's a limit to the number of, interactions and so on. But with the watch video videos, you can watch them at your own pace. So if you don't understand something, you can always rewind, you can fast forward, you can increase, you can decrease, you can do whatever you like. Okay. So this allows you to practice at your own pace, building ETL pipelines, building machine learning models, building cryptography, working with cryptography, building security frameworks, using VMware, working at your own pace. You would be able to do all those things at your own pace. So whenever you now come to class, everybody is moving at the same pace. Okay, so whatever the fast learner has learned over the week, you would have learned it as the slow learner also, and everybody will be moving at the same pace. So that blended training curriculum is what has really helped us achieve a fantastic collaboration between fast and slow learners. Tailor sessions to position you for the job. We're going to talk about that in a few seconds. All right. So, what are those tailor sessions that would get you started in your desired career? Very simple. First of all, we'll help you review your CV. All right, these are all additional employability services. This is not you paying for any other thing. This comes with the training program. Would help you review your CV, revamp your CV. I don't have cybersecurity experience. I've never done it before in my life. How would my CV look like? That's where we come in to help you build your CV. All right. LinkedIn profile. Okay. How do I modify my LinkedIn profile? How do I get recruiters to see me better? That's where LinkedIn optimization comes in. Upwork optimization. Okay. For people that are looking to get remote gigs, you want to work remotely, you want to work freelance, you want to work at your own pace. Upwork is a very fantastic place for you to get gig working freelancing. All right. Number 4, navigating the job market. How do you navigate the job market? What type of roles do you apply to? It would show you the kind of roles to apply to, where to apply for remote jobs, where to get remote opportunities, where to get freelance opportunities, and so on. So all those are the things I will do for you. Most people that are finished data engineering, for example, think that there are no jobs because they're not seeing data engineering roles. Meanwhile, there are other tons of jobs that you can actually do as a data engineer, and that's where we help you to navigate the job market. Job and interview preparation. So once you apply for a job, you get an interview. We will prepare you for the interview. All right. We will prepare you in the sense that we'll walk you through the potential questions that will likely come up. All right. How do you answer questions in the interview? So tell me about yourself. How do you answer that kind of question? All right. My name is Ifemena April. I am this. I am from Isoko North local government. How do how do you come across this session? How do you answer this question? Would help you answer this question. And the best way to answer this question is what we call the seat approach. Seat approach. So for the seat approach, tell me about yourself. Okay, very simple. You talk about your skills, first of all. Okay, you talk about your experience. Okay, you talk about your achievement, and you talk about the type of person that you are. So when you talk about, tell me about yourself, you just don't blab something. So when you see guys on Instagram, I'm very active on Instagram and on LinkedIn. And yet, I think of late, people have been coming out to say that, oh, there are no jobs in the UK. All right, there are not this in the UK. And I just laugh at them. Okay. Oh, I've done 5 interviews. I've been rejected by all 5 organizations. I laugh because people don't know that recruiters are looking at these things. If they ask you a question, okay, tell me about a time, you built a security measure for an organization as a cybersecurity analyst, and you're just blabbing something, then there's no structure to your answer. For situational based question, there is something we call the STAR technique for answering questions. So you have the situation. You need to talk about the situation. First of all, you need to talk about the situation. You need to talk about the task you performed, all right, your action, okay, and the result. So, see, all right, there is no way you structure your answers in a certain way. You just don't answer these questions off the top of your head. Okay, tell me about the time you built a pipeline and you found that didn't work or that wasn't optimized. Okay, tell me about a time as a data engineer you're able to revert. Tell me about the machine learning models that you built. Tell me how you're able to measure success, so on. How do you answer this question? Oh, thank you very much for that question. All right. I remember my past experience working as a data scientist. All right. We were faced with a particular issue, and the issue was this. And, being the data scientist on the role, I was charged with the task of building a machine learning model that will be able to predict, that will be able to detect, that will be able to do ABC. All right. Now, in terms of the work I needed to do, first of all, I needed to get the data from all data sources, get them consolidated, clean the data, did my exploratory data analysis. And doing the exploratory data analysis, this is when I discovered so there is a way you answer these questions. You just don't answer the question off the top of your head, without preparation. Or even if you prepare, how did you prepare? Who did you prepare with? And that's where we come in. We have, like you mentioned at the start of the session, the reason why we have been so much successful is because we are currently in the industry. All right. We are still applying for gigs. We are applying for jobs. So we understand what recruitment officers are looking for. We understand what the demand looks like. So if you have anybody across the world that is looking to get it started, this is the best platform to be on. Trust me, guys. Then the last but not the least is recommendation and reference letter. Majority of the recruiters will not take you if you don't get recommendation or reference, especially for people that are looking to transition. It's difficult. You've never worked as a cybersecurity analyst. You've never worked as a data engineer. You've never worked as a data scientist. How do you get started? Okay. A recruiter now sees your wonderful experience. You've gone through analytics. You have a good experience. You have done projects. You have a good portfolio. All right. And eventually they need a reference. And you've been working as a cashier in a restaurant. Okay. How do you not get how do you get a reference from a restaurant? It makes no sense. So that's where we come in. So you would claim experience. You can claim experience from Analytics. So when you're putting yourself out there, you are currently working as a cybersecurity analyst with Analytics. You're working as a data engineer with Analytics as a consultant. You're working as a data scientist consultant with Analytics. So when they reach out to us, we will write you a recommendation letter. I'll show you one in a few seconds. Let me show you one real quick. All right. And you'll see, I'm going to show you one just real quick. Just give me a second. And it's something that came in just a few days ago. This is just one. I want to show you this because of how interesting kind of opportunity people think there are no opportunities anywhere in the world. Okay. Or in the less this person is currently in the UK, but testimonials, I'll still show you testimonials from across the world. Okay. Just give me a second. I want to remove any potential naming. Okay, just give me a second. You'll see referencing. You'll see why referencing is very important in a few seconds. Okay. Okay, so just give me a second. I'm just going to snip it. Okay, so I can show you. I want to show you this recommendation. This is how organizations come. This is how people come to us for it. Okay. Okay. So let me just show you this. The person's name is not here, so that's fine. All right. So this is it. Can you put a one in the chat if you can see my screen well, if you can see what I'm sharing? Okay. So this is just a tip. This was March 22nd. This was 7 days ago. Okay. So you can see this now. All right. Hi, Femena. I trust this. She is currently in the UK. All right. I trust you're doing great. I come to you with delightful news. I interviewed with 3 companies and was made offers by all 3 companies: PwC, Asset Risk Consultant, and Bank Julius Bar. Okay, 3. Okay, she's going with this particular one as a data business analyst, and the pay is great and comes with great benefits. I thank Analytics for the great foundation and support it provided me. I am so excited to commence this new role. All right. I didn't take the other part of the stuff. So the other part of it was, recommendation. They'll reach out. Okay. There's no way an organization in the UK would give you a job without doing background checks, what we call background checks. So these are the things that you don't understand, that you don't think you need, or you think you do. A lot of people will be chasing after certification. That's not what any recruiter is looking for. Nobody cares about what certificate. What certificate are you looking for? All right. So that's something you need to understand. 3 offers. All right. 3 offers. All right. And what foundation? Analytics. All right. So these are the kind of things that you need in getting started. Review your CV, have a good LinkedIn profile, have a good Upwork profile, know how to navigate the job market, know how to apply for a job, know how to send out the best application in order for you to get a call back. Okay, job and interview preparation, prepare you for the interviews, and recommendation. So we're standing for you. Don't use your previous experience if you're working as a cashier, you're working as a peer officer, don't use that. It's not going to be relevant. Would help you adjust your CV, right? So that whenever they reach out to us, we can, stand in for you. All right. Level 2 is weekly mentorship sessions and on-the-job support. Weekly mentorship session. This is where we're bringing people within the field to come in to speak to you and also show you how to navigate the job market, how they became successful, how they're able to navigate their own careers, and so on. And those are the things I will do for you. Next thing is on-the-job support. On-the-job support. So you get a job and you feel like you're stuck. The key thing for you to just get a job. We will provide you with support. Once you get the job and you need help, we will still provide you with all the job support where somebody will be dedicated to helping you, all right, until you can work by yourself. Obviously, we're going to follow, data protection guidelines. We will not ask you to send any information to us. We provide always the information, all right, details of what the work entails, and we assist you in how to solve the problem. All right. And that's basically it. Last but not the least thing is what we're doing, something that we added newly this year, which is job guaranteed interviews. All right. And I'll tell you how we're able to achieve interviews. We're going to guarantee you interviews during the course of the training program. All right. So how do we achieve this? First of all, we have the body mentorship hub where we get people that have gone through analytics, like one of the people I just showed you. So they're usually very excited to come back to say that, oh, I started this 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and now I have a job. I want to help other people get jobs in this career path. So they're usually coming back to assist, and they're doing a lot of alumni that are coming back to say that they want to help people, also show them how to navigate the job market. All right, so you have that. We also have the enhanced internship experience I talked about earlier. So this is more immersive, working on real life projects and so on. Number three, we are currently working on partnership. We've secured some already. We've recommended some people also to some job opportunities in the UK, in Canada, the US. All right, and that's essentially, where the opportunity comes in. So we have partnered with this organization to build what we call a job pipeline. All right, we'll build our own job pipeline. All right, so these recruiters are on one end, okay, and we have analytics, people that are going through analytics on another end. So the recruitment firms come up with the job, and all we do is recommend our analytics participants for the job. Okay, you get a call, you do the interview, we prepare you for the interview, and hopefully you get the job. And obviously that's not going to be the first, it's not going to be second. We'll at least guarantee you at least one interview that you can take on from there. All right. To work freelance opportunity, I've provided you some links from our previous sessions that you can get to see how to get jobs remotely, working freelance. These links are there. All you need to do is just click on the link. It takes you to the YouTube page where you can watch these videos. All right. All right, so where you can watch the videos. This is almost a 3-hour session, okay, or over 2 hours. Okay, about a 2-hour session. The ads in these videos are crazy. All right, just gonna skip this. So you see all this basically walking you through how you can get remote jobs, how to use LinkedIn to get remote jobs and so on. All right, so how to get remote jobs. So you have about 3 videos, how to get sponsored jobs in the UK. Also, there's a video there that takes you to how to get sponsored jobs in the UK. So if you're interested in that, that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the session. All right. Anyways, long story short, this is where we're going to, and so we have the next course starting on the 6th of April. So if you're looking to get it started on the 6th of April, this is the platform to be on. All right. So if you're looking to get it started in data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, this is the best time to get started. And we're running a fantastic 50% discount. So we're currently running a massive 50% discount to commemorate the International Women's Day. All right. International Women's Day. So this discount is majorly for women. Okay. So we're doing 100, 300 female, 300 female. All right. All right. And 50 male. So we have a few slots left. Okay. We have just a few slots left. So it's a 50% discount. So rather than you paying the full amount of $750, £625, or 1,050 Canadian dollars, you could actually pay half of the price. You are to pay half of the amount. So that is 375 for any of the career paths that you have here. 375, 313, and 525 if you're paying in Canadian dollars. All right. So 50% off, off the amount. Now let me tell you what will happen. Okay. Majority of the ladies and majority of the people that took advantage of the platform of the IW last year, I can tell you categorically, majority of them are currently working in their desired career. And we have a ton of them, okay? And I'll share some of their videos with you so you can take a look at the videos also. So we have a ton of opportunity. If you're looking to get things started, you want to work as a data scientist, data engineer, cybersecurity analyst, this is the best platform to be on, all right? From the hands-on project experience to all the things that you learn in order for you to get to your job, not just the technical skills. So you see a lot of people focusing majorly on technical skills. Oh, we'll teach you Python. Oh, we'll teach you this and that. But Python doesn't mean you'll get a job. You being good in Python doesn't equate to you landing your job in data science, data engineering, or cybersecurity. What guarantees you that job is your soft skills. All right. Your projects, the kind of projects you've worked on, and so on and so forth. So I'll be taking a bit of questions before we call it a day. I know it's well spent because of the internet palaver that we had at the start of the session. I sincerely apologize for that. Okay. All right. So we have a 50% discount. So if you want to take opportunity, you want to take that now, please do that now. 50% off. This 50% discount is going to be off by tomorrow, Saturday. Tomorrow is the end of the discount. Okay, so if you want to take advantage of the discount now, please latch onto the opportunity and take advantage of it right away. Okay, so if you're looking to get started, put a one in the chat. If you are registering, put a one in the chat. I would like to know the people that are registering for the training program. All right, then I'll walk you through how you can make your payments now. Okay. All right. So if you're looking to get it started, put a one in the chat if this is something that is interesting to you. All right. Of interest to you, put a one in the chat and I'll get you started. All right. So Michael, I can't guarantee that this 50% discount is going to be available in May. Okay. All right. It's not guaranteed. It's not even close to being guaranteed. It's because we're doing the IWD. That's the reason why you have the 50% discount at this point in time. All right. So all right. For Naira, yes, there is 100%. So all you need to do, yes. So once you click on the main start link, when you click on this link, you'll see my colleagues posted the link in the chat. So it's the main stack dot me enrolled analytics. So you see it here, this main stack, all you need to do is click on the link and it will open up in your browser. Just click on the link. It's going to open up in your browser. And this is it here. All right. So for people that want to pay in Naira, that want to pay, if you want to pay in Naira, you see there. All right. Okay. So, so, so you see it here. IWD payment registration link. Okay. So after once you make payment, this is the IWD payment registration link. All right. So boom. Once you click on that, okay. All right. This is how you register. Okay. So before that, for once you click on any career path that you're interested in, so if you're looking at Scrum Master, I said Scrum Master, cybersecurity, or you're looking at data engineering or data science, okay, you see the full stack data science. So for cybersecurity, for example, you click on cybersecurity, you click on cybersecurity, all right, okay. And it's going to tell you your price based on the region. Okay, it's going to do the conversion based on the region where you find yourself. So because, and that's exactly what you see there. So currently you see 313 is the price of, that's the price you see there. And that's exactly what, for the guys in the UK, you'll see it's 313. That's the price you need to pay. All right. So once you see 313, all you need to do is just reserve a seat. For cybersecurity, all you need is £313 to get started. All right. Click on reserve a seat. Okay. And put in your information and submit. That's all you need. All right. So the same thing with data science, the same thing with data science, full stack data science. Click on it. You would see the price over there. Okay, you see the price. For the guys in Nigeria, for example, you'll see your prices in Naira, okay? And you can make payments with your MasterCard, all right? So this is 313 also for the full stack data science. You see it here, £313. All right, once you do that, click on proceed to pay and you can pay. And that's it, okay? £313 and you're good to go. All right, and the same thing for, what's the other one? Data engineering, the same thing, 313. So click on that, it will take you to the payment page where you can actually make payments, and that's easy peasy. All right. All right. So that's all you need to do. Just click on the link to make payment, and you are good to go. You're good to go. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of the classes so you know exactly what I'm talking about before we call it a day. So I'm going to show you, I'm just going to show you the classes. All right. I'm going to show you the material, the classes that we have at this point in time. So we use Google Classroom, okay, it's our LMS. That's the structure of our LMS, okay? So I'm going to show you some of the training program. So I have cybersecurity, I have full stack data science. Let me take you through data science, and I'll take you through cybersecurity. Well, let's start with cybersecurity. I think a lot of people wanted to do cybersecurity, so let me take a look at that. So let's take a look at the classwork. So you see, you have, these guys started, these are the guys that started in March. So if you take a look at this, you see it's 2403. So this guy that started in March, these are the guys that started in March, literally just about 3 weeks ago. Okay. They've had their LinkedIn session. They've had their CV review session just in under 3 weeks. This is a 3 month training program. So you're getting a head start, okay, in terms of you putting yourself out there. So you have the LinkedIn session, CV review session, you have the job application tracker, how to apply for jobs and so on, which I'll share more about that. You see, we've had 4 mentorship sessions. So this particular one this is centered around how to target for jobs, applying for jobs, what recruiters are looking for, Q&A with a recruiter. So this is a Q&A session with a recruiter based in the UK. All right. So all right, so I'm just going to just fast forward it a bit. So this is a key recruiter in the UK, all right, director tech recruiter in the UK. He came in, all right, to speak on what are the key things tech recruiters are looking for, all right, across the world, not just in the UK, because it covers majority of the regions, EMEA regions, APAC regions, and also the US region. So it recruits across different regions, okay? So he came to answer questions about recruitment, technical recruitment, and so on. We also brought in also two very sound professionals across the UK, also in the US. All right, two sound, tech recruiters. These are all tech recruiters, also young and corporate, coming in to come and speak about how to prepare for technical interviews. So these are the things that you are getting as add-on, value add. So you are still going to be having your live classes anyways, like I mentioned. So you see, you have the onboarding material, how to create a profile on TryAcne Virtual Lab, Anaconda installation, Postgres installation, and so on. So basically the onboarding material, all the things you need to get started. So you see week one, okay? Week one, Foundation to Cybersecurity class recording. So all the classes are recorded. So even if you miss the class, you'll still gain access to the recording. So let's take a look at the material, okay? So you see, you have all the material that you need, okay? So let's go with module one, okay? This module two, Foundation of Computing and Network. So it goes through every single thing that you need to do, all right? And it's all practical based, all practical based sessions. So even though this is just a slide to go through it, operating systems and so on, like I said, this is introducing you to the concepts. So introducing you to the concepts, and the technologies and so on. All right, so that's what you have in week one. And you have the recording. Okay, so Saturday and Sunday class, you have the recording, to the session. So boom, just going to fast forward it so you can take a look at the session itself. All right, and that's exactly taking you through the recording of the session itself. So that's for week one, providing you with that introduction for cybersecurity to, the intro to the foundation, networking, and so on. So you have the next class, week two, information security principles. Now, this is another recording also provided for you to go through in order for you to get exactly what you're looking for. All right. So moving on to the next, and you see that's exactly what you have to week three, to week four, all right, to week five, so on and so forth. So they are currently going into week five, okay? And this is cryptography basics. Take a look at the material, all right, and you understand what is cryptography. Okay, history and basic, symmetric versus asymmetric encryption, public key infrastructure, PKI, digital signatures and certificates. So basically, this is the practical aspects now, where you're going into the key practical aspect of cryptography. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with the key. All right, so this is where you start to do the key stuff. All right, data science, the same thing. You have classwork. These are the guys that started in March. I'm showing you the guys that started in March. So you see that if you start, this is exactly what you will get also. So you see data science, you have the onboarding materials, you have introduction to data science, just a couple of videos to talk about the introduction to data science, what is data science, so on and so forth, different career paths in data science. Okay. You have the week one, Excel for analytics. Let's take a look at what they did. First class in Excel, week one, first class. Okay, so you see the introduction to Excel, data cleaning functions, and data analysis toolkit. So this is the first week. So like I mentioned, it's a full stack data science. So you learn Excel for analysis, for visualization, for reporting, and for predictive analytics. You would also move into it, okay, data cleaning with Excel. So as a data scientist, you need to be able to clean your data to what strategies, what functions, what way can you use in cleaning your, to clean your data. All right. And they're all case study based. They are all case study based. Let's take a look at the case study. So data cleaning with Excel. Okay, why data cleaning, life consequences of poor and clean data. So let's take a look at the case study. All right. So as a digital data professional at your organization, you're required to lead by your team lead to deploy data cleaning techniques in handling inconsistencies in clients' project data. You're required to provide a report on their respective inquiries, clean the data, separate the customer names, calculate your overall revenue, calculate discounts for each, and so on and so forth. So you are going to learn all these things using a project-based approach, okay? And you move into the videos again, how to work with data. So basically, it's an immersive experience. You're going through the data science class. The same thing with data engineering, okay? When you go through the same process, you have all the materials, the recording made available in order for you to get started. So introduction to data engineering, which is the first class, you have the class materials that takes you through an intro to data engineering, okay? Also, and that's, you see the recording, the class recording is there, takes you through it. This is Toby, one of the very experienced, worked with one of the biggest banks in the world, okay, and he works as a data engineer. So basically putting you through the foundations of data engineering, ETL, batch and stream processing, so on and so forth, okay? All right, so week one introduction, you have the watch me do it videos. So like I mentioned, you have this watch me do it videos, data engineering, data science, where it's giving you bite size, working at your own pace. You are learning at your own pace. Okay, so you have the videos. So let me just take a look at this particular one. This is data types, bringing all the data types together in Python, bringing them all together, working with everything together. All right, and you can work with that. Okay, let me see. I think the video might take a few, that's about 47 minutes long. So let me take something smaller. Okay. So pre-formatting, for example, okay. So this particular one shouldn't take too long. So basically, this is you learning at your own pace. So as I'm creating mine, okay, as I'm walking you through this, you see me on the top left corner, top right corner, okay. As I'm creating this, you are also creating yours. You're working, you're building your own at the same pace. So everybody's moving at the same pace. You can increase, you can, fast forward, you can reduce, you can go back, you can go forward. So as I'm building mine, you are also building yours. So it's watch me do it. So everybody's learning at the same pace. So once you get the watch me do it videos, okay, you have a live class, okay, that talks about life kind of like a case study approach to the material itself, to the case study. All right, so you have the live class, okay? You have another set of watch me do it videos that walk you through the process. You have another live class, okay, that walks you through it, another practical based approach. You have the watch me do it videos for week 3. You have another live class for projects. So let's take a look at the projects they did in class. So SQL case study. All right, so you see, let me just say warm-up exercise. So metal code. For metal code data, answer the following business question. Which product is the most profitable? Who is the best customer? How much is each individual product making for the company? So on and so forth. So that's the way you break it down. Metrics data, you are working with vehicle sales data. So you are working on all these things in order for you to come up with insight, for you to understand it a lot better. So you have a mixture of self-paced and live classes. And these materials are created by us, like myself. Okay, myself and other experienced people that will walk you through the case study. So you see me here again. This is one of the Watch Me Do It videos on SQL. So it's a case study on Metro Bank. Okay, and I'll just fast forward it a little for you to see the case study. Okay, so overview of Metro Bank. Metro Bank established in early 2000 has grown into a significant regional player in the banking sector and so on. So basically, that's walked you through the case study. So there's always a case for every, so you understand it in terms of the business world. So you're not just learning it as a vague concept. You're applying it to a business scenario. All right, a realistic business scenario, and that's essentially what we are doing. Okay, so that's basically it, guys. Okay, so everything, all the sessions are recorded. You get access to all the recordings, and you can get started. Okay, so 50% discount for for people looking to get it started this month. 300 female, 50 male. So if you're looking to get it started, secure your position now. Okay, the discount is going to end Saturday. It's going to end tomorrow, Saturday. If you're looking to get it started, you need to secure your position now before the end of the discount. Okay. And we have a new course starting on the 6th of April. That's literally next week, Saturday. So if you're looking to get it started, this is just the last call for us to get it started. Any other question? Let me see. Okay, Inam, do you have a question? Please let me ask you to unmute yourself. All right. So try to unmute yourself, please. Inam,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good evening from here. I want to ask a question. For those of us in Canada, if we want to enroll and want to pay in Naira, we can do that as well. That's my first question.
Yeah.
I can see the options for Canadian dollar based on the location. And second question is for the internship, are the internship done online as well after the program?
Okay.
Did you
Okay,
hear me?
fantastic. So you are currently based, where are you based at the moment? Sorry.
In Canada.
Okay, so once you click on the link, the main start.me profile, okay, the link here, my colleague has dropped it again. Once you click on the link, it will take you whatever price, you'll see the price in Canadian dollars. All right. You see the price in
Okay.
Canadian dollars. All right. So once you click on let's say cybersecurity, for example, all right, you'll see it in Canadian dollars, okay, based on your region. So this particular one, this browser I've opened this. Let me just use the actual browser I use. So it will show me the price in Canadian dollars. Okay. All right. So if I click on cybersecurity, this will take me to CAD. Okay, and to show me the price in Canadian dollars. All right. So this is show me in Canadian dollars just because I was just obviously with browsers, you have cookies, you have all this cache and all that. Okay, so that particular cache for that particular browser, because I was using in the UK, it was still showing me in pounds. So for this particular one, you see this is a Canadian dollars. So it will show you in Canadian dollars. Okay, and you can make your payment in Canadian dollars. All right. If you're looking to pay in Naira, like you have Naira, you want to pay in Naira, okay. All right. We have data analytics. You can always send an email to just send me an email, okay, if you want to pay in Naira. We don't have that. We don't have an option for that, okay. It's not part of, it's just something that we can do for people that don't probably want to, you have excess Naira, you want to pay in Naira, that's fine. You can always arrange that. But you need to send us an email for that, okay. All right, just send Nene at Analytics. Just send an email to Nene at Analytics.io. Okay, just send Nene at. So I'll drop the email there. So if you have Naira, you want to pay in Naira, despite being in Canada, you could just send an email to Nene at Analytics.io. All right, does that make sense? That's for the first question.
Yeah, it does.
Now, the second one, which is the internship. The internship, I'm going to show you a sneak peek of the internship also. All right. So you understand it's virtual, it's a virtual internship anyways. Virtual internship. So you see it here. This is data science and HR internship. Okay, so we pair them together sometimes to work on similar projects. While the data analyst is working on one, data scientist is working on the project, working on the data science aspect of the project. So let's see the task material, like task material. So you see this now. This is a real life case study. Okay, real life case study. Now, the real life case study is focused towards, what we have done is we use our experience okay, to coming up with these case studies. All right. And that's the reason why you can actually claim experience, because you would have built projects that pertain to real life experiences. So what we have done with our real life experience is to turn them into learning materials. Like this particular was the real life case study, okay, predicting, employee turnover, who is likely going to leave an organization. All right, what qualities do you need to attain in order for us to classify you as a red, okay, as red, meaning that you would likely leave if certain things are not put in place. How do you predict that? So this is a real life organization, real life projects that you'll be working on as a data scientist, for example. All right. So and that's the same thing with every other internship that we are. I'm looking for another. This is the BA and SM, which is Scrum Master. So you see this, project materials, case study that they are working on. All right. Sorry. Okay. So they have the case study, and these are all real life projects. Okay. That would later be deployed in real life situations. Okay. And you can use it to claim real life experience. And those are the key things that you would be. So it's virtual based. All right. But you'll be working on real life projects. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Namdi. Thanks a lot for that. All right. So some people still have questions. You can we can't take part payments, and that's because it's 50% off. Okay. Normally you can pay 2 installments when you're paying the full amount. You can pay multiple 2 installments, 1 installment, depending on what works for you. All right. But currently, because it's 50% off, we don't take part payments. Even if you're going to be making part payments, you must complete before the training program starts. Okay, and that's because it's 50% off already. Okay, that's why there's no part payment for now. Okay, so if you're looking to get this started and you want to secure a discount, first of all, okay, you can always go on the platform. All right, so for Canadian dollars it is 525. Okay, so take for example, you have 300 Canadian dollars today, you can always pay 300 Canadian dollars, or if it's a 400 that you have, you can pay 400 Canadian dollars. Okay, reserve the seat, pay for it, but you must complete that $100 extra. You must complete it before the training program starts. So the training program is starting on the 6th of April, okay, which is next week Saturday. All right. But the good thing is that you would have secured your discount. You would have secured the discount before we got started, before the training program starts. Okay. So, Michael, you said you have a question. Please, you can raise up your hand or you could unmute yourself. I'll be happy to take your questions. Okay. And if any other person has any question, please feel free to to ask your questions. Okay. I'm just going to use the next 2 seconds to share some, and I want you guys to also check us out on YouTube. We have, like I mentioned, there are a lot of workings. We have a lot of workings. So if you go to YouTube, okay, and you go to just search for Analytics, literally. Okay, search for Analytics on YouTube. You'll see a ton of materials that we have. Okay, please subscribe to our YouTube channel also, because to stay up to date with all the sessions that we have. Every session that we have goes on our YouTube platform. So if you go to videos or playlists, okay, you'll see testimonials. All right, there's a part we have, testimonials. All right, so you see testimonial here. We have over 83 testimonial videos in there. All right, and these are people that have gotten jobs, talking about their experience with going through analytics and so on. All right, and those are the beauty. That's the beauty. So you see, those are the kind of things you will get going through the session. And I want you to let me see if I can play any one of them. Okay, so let me just play this. This is the data science testimonial. Okay, just give me a second. I'm just going to unshare my screen and share again. I want to share the audio this time around. How do I share audio again? Share sound. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to unmute this.
Hi everyone, my name is Shade Huluwatosi. I want to talk to you about analytics today. I also did the program, that's the data science program. It's actually landed me my first tech job right here in the UK, and I do not have any previous experience. So one thing that I would really say that I like about analytics is the support that they provide. This support, it comes in terms of mentorship section. It comes in form of CV reviews and also LinkedIn optimization. I am going to recommend analytics to every Black person that I know that are interested in tech. I'm really going to recommend them to everyone that I really know. Thank you.
You got a job as a data scientist working for.
Hello everyone, my name is Idris. How I heard about Analyst through a post on Instagram. So there was this ad. And I was interested in what I saw there. That made me decided to go through their website and see the curriculum they had. Going through the curriculum, I realized this was exactly what I was looking for because I'm this kind of person. I very much love the learning fundamentals when I'm diving into a new field. And this was exactly what Analytics is doing there. Starts from the fundamentals and build it up from there. That made me enroll into the program with them, and my learning experience throughout the program was very productive because I gained a lot of concepts which I'm applying in my current role at the moment. Since finishing the program at Analytics, I've been able to secure a data engineering role at Jaguar Land Rover, and recently I just secured a new role as a senior analytics engineer. So my advice for anyone is, if you're having any doubts or if you think you need to delve into this field, I advise you to just go through the website, check on the courses there and see what you're interested in and start from there. Thank you.
You see, we have tons of like literally that's how all the video goes. Okay, listen to them, go and listen to how they were able to get their first job, how they were to secure their position, how they had no prior experience and they're able to get started. Just have to build. That's the beauty of what we are doing here. So you don't need any prior experience, like literally nothing. Come blank. The blanker you are, the better, okay? Because if you have prior experience, oh, I know this already, so I don't need to learn it. The blank you are, the better for you, okay? And even linking to, to learn, okay, this is the platform for you to get started. So we have tons of testimonials, and that's the way it goes. Literally, that's the way it goes. All right. So you see every single thing, listen to them.
Hello everyone, my name is Ifoma Joan Asilwe. I'm part of the April cohort, and I must say it's been an insightful experience. Prior to now, I used to go on YouTube. I didn't have any direction. I didn't know what to learn in tech because I always wanted.
All right, I can go on. Like I said, we have evidence. Evidence, the day ground, the full ground, in terms of the work that we're putting into our people and getting them the desired career path and desired job that they need. Okay, so if you're looking to getting started, guys, all you need to do, is register now, secure your position now, and don't look at the fact that there are no people. Like I was talking, I wanted to share some quick tips. All right. So if you're looking at getting a job, let's say for the guys in the UK, I'll do the same thing for Canada. It's the same thing. I'm currently based in Canada now, and understanding the job market is the same thing. All right. So if you take a look at data engineers, for example, I'll do the same thing for cybersecurity. All right. And I'm looking for a job as a data engineer. And I search for the word data engineer. Okay. There are tons of job anyways. Okay. In which you say this is 60 to 70,000. This is 39,000. This is 45 to 70,000. So on and so forth. All right. Now let's take a look at contract job, which is where you can actually make more money as a tech professional. Okay, where you can actually make significantly more money. So you see here, 500 to 535 pounds per day, not per week, per day. Okay, so this is where progression comes in. All right, this is where you getting started today comes in, not getting started next month, 3 months, 4 months. I will start tomorrow. I will start next week. But that's how people feel, or that's the beginning of failure. So getting started immediately is one thing you need to consider. Also, you see, 400 to 500 pounds per day, 450 to 550 pounds, 200 to 300 pounds per day, 400 to 550 pounds per day. Per day. So a day of work is about 400 to 500 pounds, depending on your negotiation and your experience. You're able to bargain for either 400 or 500 pounds per day. Let's take the higher end, 500 pounds. Let me take the lower end, 400 pounds per day. You have people working how many hours to gain £400. And guess what? Some of these roles, from my own time working in the UK, all right, I could take on 2, 3 roles at the same time, all right, depending on the volume of work I need to do, okay? And all these contracts are like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, all right? And that's when I mentioned at the start of the session, I was saying that I done in the last 2, 3 years, I've done over 10 roles, and that's how it is. So it's, let's see how many months, how many months they need these people for. So this one is not specified. Okay, this is a 6 month, okay, with potential to extend day rate contract, 6 months. So you're just there for 6 months, move on to the next one. All right, you're there for 3 months. Some roles are like 6 months, some 3 months, some just need you to do some work within 3 months, and they can still extend. So all the contract roles, and those are the kind of opportunity that you can actually do. So this particular one is 6 months initial, all right, with potential to also extend, because it's 6 month initial, so they can always extend. This is 325 to £400 per day of work. Okay, and that's the same thing with cybersecurity analysts. Cybersecurity. Sorry, is this security or security? Which one is it? Security. If you're in Nigeria, you say cybersecurity. See, cybersecurity consultant, £675. Cybersecurity officer, 300 to 425 pounds. Cybersecurity consultant, 650 to 750. So the goal for you at this point in time, I think, is $80 to $87 per hour of work, 29 to 34. So I'm not saying you can get this immediately. You go through analytics, you'll get a role as a consultant or as a contractor, because majority of these roles require to hit the ground running. Okay, so one thing, but it's you getting started. That's the key thing for us. How can you get started? How can you get your first role? Okay, and 6 months, 8 months down the line, how can you start applying for contract roles like this and earn significantly more than you can ever imagine? Like when I say more than you can imagine, I won't lie to you. This is my own personal experience I'm speaking from as a data professional. Okay, so take for example, I don't want to talk too much. All right, but these are the key things: cybersecurity, data engineering, data science is the same thing. You're not left out. Okay, data scientist. Okay, all right. So you guys are not left out. Data science is 500. This is not my site. It's not me that owns read.co.uk. This is a job site. 500 to 550 pounds per day, 350 to 400. So the goal for you guys, you should know at the back of your mind, is how can I get to this place? Okay, how can I earn significantly more than my peers or than what I actually want to earn? So what's your goal at the moment? So if you're even earning £400, let's do quick maths. Okay, let's do quick maths. Okay, so you see it's not crazy maths. Okay, I'm just going to drop a calculator so you can see it. So even if you are earning £300 per day, 300, okay, all right, and you're doing this for 5 days in a week, that is what? 1,500 per week. And you're doing this for 4 days, 4 weeks in a month, that's 6,000. So in order for you to earn 6,000 salary, as a salary, you are earning above, you need to earn as high as 100,000, if not 120, 130,000 pounds, if you're in the UK. You need to be in 6 figures to be able to get 6,000. You need to be in 6 figures. All right. So that's exactly where I'm coming from. So if you can gain better to like £500 per day, okay, if you can actually become, you obviously started, you build your experience, you work on one full-time job, you move from that full-time job to another full-time job, and so on, and you progress. And in like 6 months to a year, you're able to gain enough experience to start applying for contract jobs like this. All right, 500 to, you're doing this for 5 days in a week, that's 2 5. Okay, and you're doing that for 4 times in a year, 4 times in a month, 4 weeks in a month, that's $10,000. And guess what? If you have your stay, if you have your visa status and everything is fine, you can actually do 2 of these jobs. It doesn't limit you to just one job. All right. So when they say there's money in tech, there is money. All right. You just need to know how to position yourself. Hence the navigating the job market sessions that we have. What roles do you apply for? A lot of people don't know these roles exist. A lot of people don't know the contract jobs like this exist. All right. And if you're in Canada, literally the same thing. If you go to Indeed, all right, and you all right, you search for a job, okay? Same thing, all right? Say data engineer, okay? Or cybersecurity, whatever role you're looking for, okay? I won't be able to do everything, unfortunately. All right, okay? So you see job type there, you see part-time, permanent, part-time, temporary, full-time, and so on and so forth. All right, you could go to also, there are quite a number of sites you can go to, Glassdoor, that will give you a lot of options that you could actually go into. Okay, so, and all these jobs, some of them, this one, I think for Indeed, they don't really put a lot of salary. Okay, so this one now you see this is a BI engineer role. This is 90 to $150,000 per year. Okay, so this is the kind of opportunity that you get. Okay, working the tech with earning significantly more than your peers, people around you. Okay, so if you want to make a difference, that's exactly what we're trying to achieve. We understand the job market. We understand what you need to learn. We understand how to position yourself, and that's the reason why we combine them in this well-structured end-to-end training program to get you started in data science, data engineering, and cybersecurity analytics. If you're looking for proof, we have proof. We have the videos, we have testimonials. Go and listen to them. We have the YouTube link that is there for you. All right, I'll take one question and I think I'll call it a day. FEMA sanctified. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. Okay, so I can take a question real quick. Chima, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? We know our work, oh. We know our
Yes.
work. So, oh, sorry, Chima, apologies. I was trying to ask you to unmute and I muted you back. Okay. So if you have anybody in the US, in the UK, in Canada, or if you're looking to, getting started in your remote work, there are quite a number of remote work you can apply to. Chima, just give me a second.
Okay.
National. So this is tech startups, remote jobs. Majorly guys looking for remote jobs opportunity across the world. All right. This is
Can you hear me now?
the all right. Sorry about that again. Just going to share my screen again. I think my internet has started messing up again. Apologies. All right. So for building startup jobs, like literally startup jobs across the world. So take for example, I'm going to look at cybersecurity. Before people say that there's the only data engineer, cybersecurity analyst, remote jobs is checked already. So I'm just going to see all job matches. Okay, and literally see them here. These are fully remote jobs. These are fully remote jobs. So we all know Caterpillar, okay, cybersecurity analyst. This is in Illinois, okay, 2 days ago. This is, obviously a very big organization. All right. So Purple Box, 7 days ago. This is it. Google Business Aviation, Cambridge Visa Inc. These are all cybersecurity roles, fully remote roles, like literally fully remote roles, cybersecurity. All right, that you could actually apply to. Okay, but the key thing is, what do you need to get started to get this kind of role? What do you need, okay, to get this job? Okay, so Built-in is a very fantastic place, okay, for you to apply for, remote opportunities and so on. Okay, there are a ton of other ones. Trust me, this isn't just one. This is just one out of so many other places you can actually apply to remote jobs. Okay, I need to register. I'm guessing my internet is really messing up. All right. Anyways, I'm not going to waste too much of the time anymore. Chima, yes, let me take your question, and I think I would call it a day from there. Okay.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me now?
Hey, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Just a question. The timing for the cybersecurity. I'm in
Yes.
BC.
And you know that there's a time difference between BC and Ontario. I don't know where you are. I heard you said you're in Canada.
Yes.
So is there a way you factor in that very timing? Because some of us we work up till Saturday, Sunday, so that we won't miss any of the class. At least we can attend some classes. Because if it goes into the midnight for us, we
Yeah.
need to work the next day. And then it's a kind
Exactly. All right. So for flexibility of timing for data science and data engineering, the timing is flexible for the course. For cybersecurity, currently we're working on making it more flexible for the guys in Canada and the US. The timing. So the timing currently is 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. That is likely going to be very early in the morning. This is about 2 hours. 2 hours ahead of our Mountain Standard Time. Am I correct? That should be 2 hours ahead. I'm not so sure. All right. So that's so cybersecurity at the moment, the timing of the beats rigid. Okay. So you don't have the morning or afternoon session that you can select from. Okay. It's likely going to be more flexible from next month. Okay, because that's something that we're going to work on. So from next month, we're likely going to make it more flexible than what we have at the moment. Okay, but for now, it's going to be 11 to 2 p.m. on Saturday. And on Sunday, it's going to be from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. Okay. All right. If it's something you can work with, fine. If it's not something you can work with, you can wait till next month in order for you to get started. It's not a problem. Right? But you can secure a place, you can secure yourself and defer. That's the best option I'd say for you. Because next month is not International Women's Month. Okay. We're going to revert back. This is just once in a lifetime. This is once in a year kind of opportunity. All right. All right. If Chikri says thank you so much, Professor Infomena, for this amazing session. I enrolled for the full stack data science April course. I look forward to beginning my journey to transitioning to the tech space, and I know choosing Analyst is the best choice to get started. Let's get to the top. All right, awesome. I'm happy. I'm actually excited that you registered for Chiku. Okay, thank you a lot for that. Really looking forward to having you on board. And once you start, you'll see the immersive work that we have done in helping you getting started. Okay, so everybody looking to get started, please register now. If you have a friend, you have a family that you want to recommend. Don't gatekeep. You can see we are not gatekeeping anything. All right. Every information that you need, we are putting it out there. And trust me, even during the session, we have more. All right. So imagine we're giving you this for free. Imagine what you get when you pay. All right. There's so much information that you'll be getting that you would literally know that this is value for money from the first day you start the session. All right. So thank you very much, guys. I'm sure you had a wonderful time. I did have a wonderful time. Looking forward to having you all on board. Okay. Thanks a lot again for taking our time to listen to us. Okay. So if you had a wonderful time, put a 1 in the chat. If you had a great time today, put a 1 in the chat and let's call it today, guys. Okay. If you had a wonderful time, put a 1 in the chat. Fakaye, fantastic. Charlie, Chima, Paul, Ifechiku, fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Looking forward to having you guys on board and register now while the discounts are